Nothing but the fading light.
And we are reaching the home stretch here of season 46. Many months of gameplay between these teams. Teams have had time to go to Europe, prepare, rosters have assembled, disassembled, new players have walked in and out of the doors, but now it's crunch time. We're trying to lock in our top 10 here for playoffs. My name's Fine, joined by Colex McHenry. Let's run these last couple weeks here of ECL.
I mean, in classic ECL fashion, we kind of get towards the tail end of the season. We got to be ready to finish things off, decide who's going to be heading into the playoffs, who's going to be walking away a little bit sour here. And we're going to answer those questions, like you said, here very soon. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of those answers. We have a lot of surprises this season so far. We've had a lot of rising teams come through, and included in that mix was the distance that this season's been going. What has been really cool is I feel like we've seen a lot of improvement with these rosters. You mentioned some teams going over to Europe, like Wildcard, which I think is super cool. They're I think having some troubles coming back, but they should be here getting an NA soon, ready to finish out their season. So a lot of cool things happen in this time around, and I'm looking forward to seeing how things shape up.
Yeah, there are 16 teams and so many stories to follow. Let's give a quick recap of what exactly we're working with here in ESL Challenger League. There's been a change in the format for those who are returning here to the broadcast, and well, this is what it looks like right now. There's a lot of opportunities for teams to make it into playoffs, and I think that's what we want. That's what we want here in North America.
Yeah, a chance to go into the postseason here. I know for a lot of teams it's a little bit of a tough way to end things off when you don't make it into playoffs, and you're not quite in that relegation tournament as well. So, you know, in terms of officials, you kind of get limited on opportunities to play up against some ECL caliber competition, you know, once the season finishes up. But as you can see, I feel like what's most interesting here, you do only get 2 auto-relegated teams, only 3 teams sent to relegation as well, which I feel like is going to keep a lot of rosters here sticking around, and what could be for the best, because we've actually seen some of these players rise to the occasion off of just getting reps in ECL. If you look at teams like Unjustified and their current standing, it's good to see them like maybe make a case to lock in a playoff position and already start things off well. So super excited to see you know, how things shake up.
Yeah, I mean, again, 16 stories. Let's take a look at how the standings have panned out as we're heading into the tail end of season 46. And I think the biggest surprise here of this season so far is Unjustified Gaming, who are currently sitting at 6-3. Also, gotta mention Take Flight. We haven't got to see them, at least cast them all that much, but they've worked their way up the rankings as well.
Yeah, I mean, very impressive so far, what they've been able to deliver at the moment. Yeah, I agree with you though. Unjustified definitely shocking me in terms of some of the performance. I think they've just like eliminated some of the harder competition, and now in theory they can kind of coast for not the rest of the season, but in terms of the competition that they'll be playing up in the future, they've got a lot to look forward to. Some teams in some tough spots as well, though. I think for this matchup in particular that we're covering tonight, pretty early in the season, we got Party Astronauts versus Badass, and that game is going to be super interesting because both rosters are 3-3 right now. Both are kind of sitting at middle of the pack, and I think both of these teams should be expanding on that. I think they're better than their current standing. So with that being said, you know, there's some question marks as to where they're going to position themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's this matchup does kind of decide the direction of the season here for Badass, who have had the ability to play against some of the weaker opposition here in ECL, but has yet to play against, you know, the M80s, the wild cards, and now speaking of M80, they have yet to really start competing this season as well. So they're going to be putting in a lot of officials in the next couple of weeks. We'll get to see them surely on these streams. But yeah, Party Astronauts and Badass are trying to pull ahead of the pack here. Party Astronauts have had a bit of a rocky season themselves. They've fallen victim to Unjustified, so they need to pick up these must-win games that we expect them to win.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, especially with some of the changes here that that Badass is going for here, it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what exactly they're going to be bringing to the table. We'll go ahead and take a look before we get into that, though, about what's going on tonight. EG versus Rocket. I believe that's going on over on the main stream there. So, you know, if you want to catch some of that action, I know Evil Genius is going through some stuff right now.
The news.
Yeah, the cycle, and you know, hope the best for those guys. But looking forward to you know, seeing them try and keep up the season. Rocket, I feel like, is some competition that they come through and they're looking to build some confidence off of. But we'll always see the case there. I mean, EG showing that they can be surprised.
Yeah, well, you can go ahead and check that one out on the mainstream at ESL_CSGO. Checking into Badass Gaming and Party Astronauts. This PA lineup is starting to kind of solidify. They formed together. They picked up probably two of the hottest prospects in kind of like that North American Tier 3 area in the likes of Grizz and Spec for this squad. So I was really hyped to see them. They even took a map off of Team Liquid over in the Blast Showdown, but that was months ago at this rate. And we haven't seen them necessarily take over the region off the back of that.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of expect them to come through and have over time solidify a little bit more. I imagine it is a huge adjustment for some of these more veteran players to hop in with newer guys like Spec and Grizz and say, hey, like we have to give you guys or teach you guys the ropes here. But I can really appreciate it, right? When you talk about a team that has that experience to build upon, you look towards Pone Alone and Binley, and you know that these guys are teaching some of the younger players what's good, you know, how to really perform here in ECL. So I feel like that experience is going to be very valuable for Spec, Grizz, and I mean even Chop on the younger side of things can utilize some of that experience as well, as he's been performing for the side of Party Astronauts for quite some time. But yeah, no question, I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys can deliver. On the other side of things here, what's interesting about this Badass roster is I know that they've been going back to their roots, what's probably comfortable for them. We've been seeing a little bit of roster shakeups every once in a while, but we're seeing the combination of Dare and Snav joined back up with Shane once again after a little bit of time.
Yeah, and I mean, some of these guys on the side, they went under the Timberman for a while, and now they're under Badass. I mean, they have just incredible aim. I think Shane is probably the person who stands out the most to me every time I cast this team. He's just individually an extremely talented player, and you're going to have to deal. I mean, can he hold up against the new guys on the block? We'll have to see. It'll actually just come down to the maps that we've got here. The Classic Anubis Perma coming out from Party Astronauts. And I think we are landing on some pretty standardized maps here for North American Counter-Strike, Mirage, Overpass, and Ancient. Nothing out of either team's wheelhouse here.
Yeah, Overpass has always been a staple for the side of PA for that core. And then you add some good pieces to it, and players like Spec who can be very active, a very proactive element. So no surprises there. Mirage, I think Badass have been really wielding that to full effect. And of course, when it comes to teams that have been able to test like rosters like Nouns, I feel like Badass have actually been able to push them to the limit on this map. So you can kind of appreciate that pick out of the gates. Ancient's going to be a very interesting decider if called upon here. Looking forward to seeing how these teams come through and deliver. Again, it's going to be a map where I really put some of the focus on newer guys and their positions that they play there. Like if you're over towards the cave side, I think if I'm remembering correctly, Spec kind of doing some of the work over there has been super effective. So looking forward to seeing if he can bring that energy again. Yeah,
what I do want to say as well is that Mirage and Overpass are not really a lock-in for either team. It's kind of just a very balanced veto where anything can go any team's way. But I do have to lean in favor a little bit of here at the Party Astronauts. Again, just the pedigree of player is just a bit higher here on the side of PA. Especially, I have hype for Grizz, and I think he's been delivering on it in some of these officials here in ECL where he does just take over games. Spec has been a solid element to this squad as well. I think, again, it's a pedigree difference player for player. I think PA have the edge, but there will be some moments where Badass could maybe take the reins and make us believe a little.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like that has to happen kind of out of the gates on Mirage. We can see a lot of depth come through. I mean, you mentioned something which I think is pretty key, and that's Shane being back on this team here is, I think, a huge benefit just when it comes to straight up the anchoring that this guy provides. The guy's an absolute rock. He's very stable. I like that he's joined back up with some of his old teammates that I think have led to most of the comfort, have led to a large part of this roster's success. Is that consistency of having known quantities that, like you mentioned, are up there in terms of caliber, up there in terms of aim, that can consistently deliver. And not only is Shane one of those players, but also Dare alongside him. I know he maybe has had some struggles keeping up the same performance coming into CS2, But I expect him to kind of stabilize over the long run and get back into gear, especially with familiar faces.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is, this core is really deadly when they do get going, and there's been a reason why they've been a relevant squad here in the ECL from MDL to Premier to ECL. This entire like dynasty sort of have been present in this region, and have always competed at a high enough level. They've consistently made playoffs. They've always served as this particular team who is a bit of a gatekeeper to some of the lower echelon teams. They're always sticking around in playoffs. So you have to take down these squads if you want to move through. But I think PA is one of those teams who should be able to take down these squads. They're not going to get gate kept by this squad. In fact, they've been doing the gatekeeping here in the qualifiers that they've been playing to go towards international events and such.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. It's not a team that you can gatekeep very well if you've already got that experience, the years of ECL experience underneath your belt. And I feel like one of the specialties of this badass roster is putting teams that they're favored against down in pretty confident fashion. A little less so this season and maybe seasons in the past, but again, they've been going through a lot of shifts and shakeups. Since we're talking about the high caliber badass roster. But again, bring back some of the old faces. I think it's going to get them right back to that point, and it's going to again allow them to contest with some of the best ECL teams, the most stable ECL teams that the scene has on offer. So PA is certainly one of those, and I think that's going to be used in their favor.
Yeah, I certainly have to agree with that. There are some extra additions to the badass lineup as well. I do have to give my shouts out to Frankie as well, who has kind of been slowly but surely becoming a more staple name here in the ECL space. Again, can maintain and keep up with the rest of the players. And I think most importantly, I think he's a very smart player on the side of badass. When I see him, he does position himself well in some optimal spots. And he also sometimes wields the secondary for the team, so we might be able to see that get picked up. I haven't been seeing a lot of double opping go down in CS2, however, but that was one of his fortes in CSGO. So we'll see if we get to see a little bit of his flair as well.
Yeah, I mean, when I first watched Frankie come into the scene, I felt like, or at least the ECL scene, I felt like he wasn't super comfortable. I think the roster that I first saw him on was one tap, and he has looked a lot better in this iteration. I remember watching him back in Advance, and I was always super impressed with him, and it never carried over into ECL. I think on this team, he's becoming the same player he was in Advance in ECL, delivering the same impact, same impressive plays, like you said, super cerebral. So looking forward to seeing that, of course, in the server alongside that 100% underrated factor here on Badass that we can look forward to watching here and seeing if he's able to deliver in stride. It's going to be a full team effort here, of course, for the side of Badass if they want to pull this thing off. But again, both teams in pretty crucial turning points in the season right now, where both have to level up their game. And so that's what we're going to need to see out of these two rosters here as we open up on Mirage.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a colder start for both of these squads. We normally expect them to be close to the top of the table, at least in the top 8. EA, definitely a top 5 team here, at least on paper, in ECL, but haven't really gotten off to the right start for their season. They've had some rockier games. We'll see if they can turn it around here against Badass as we're kicking off another night of ECL. I'm buying Dobicole, Extra McHenry, Badass starting on the T side.
Ready to kick it into gear here towards a little bit of a B side. Benleak has a Molotov here. Molotovs, I feel like they land a little bit quicker maybe, and they do more damage quicker as well. So can be effective on pistol rush to do a lot of damage. You can see Shane is scared off. It's actually just straight up deterred them. So that's mission accomplished completely. They've kept him away from the aggression. They've baited out the little utility that Badass have. And now Badass are having to reroute in this round.
But the problem is that Party Astronauts have no mid control, so they can't actually take advantage of the fact that Badass are all trapped in the apartments. PA, we're kind of playing a very passive setup, so can't really take advantage of any of this, as I was saying.
100% going to be a bit complicated here with that lack of mid presence here. A little bit of a window boost could be effective, could surprise. Snav trying to peek forward here. Could catch Grizz off guard. Oh, but nice out here. Spotted early. Grizz going to fall quick to Snav. Damage done, but they still have to find the kills on the site.
That's back underneath. That's a good for could not convert on the low HP. Instead, it's going to be Chop. 1.5 helped out by the team kill, and it's just Snav on 3 HP. Bomb down on the ground. And Party Astronauts assemble the crossfires in time. shut down this pistol round. Polo's going to finish the job. That's a very important one there for PA. It was looking like it got out of hand. Spec couldn't convert the double kill from underneath the palace, but just enough time for everyone to arrive here for the side of Party Astronauts. So we'll see a little bit of a FAMAS purchase up now for Party Astronauts. Badass going to take the Glock eco, and we're going to fall into this little groove where PA are going to get off to a nice calm CT start. Stuff you really do want to be seeing is going to be Spec on that A site. Again, always just a solid player wherever he is on the map. So will be some good sights to see, but for now, PA rocking with the pistol and only just up against the Glocks. We'll have to see how that fares down the line.
See what they can bring to the table. Not the best tools here. Shane on a deagle to close that distance. There's that mid-flight there. No FAMAS skills just yet. Finally able to secure one. As they push and pull the contact. Should be able to farm up those sweet, sweet ecos. That HE will dunk them down as well. Lovely to see. And it's just Consti. Left last man standing. Doesn't want to be the easy eco. Wants to make him work for it. If you want to farm up some students, you got to turn that corner. Spec will claim his prize.
He will oblige. Second round there for Party Astronauts. Do look at what Badass are going to bring to the table. They are a team that do like their defaults, but Party Astronauts are a team that can thrive individually. It truly... We do need to see what side of the bed we woke up on today here for Party Astronauts to see which individuals are firing on all cylinders, which type of fights are we going to be taking out towards middle. Right now, Badass seems like they're already grouping towards A, though.
Kick it into gear, a little bit of an off-spawn call. Coming straight on into that A side. Doing a lot of damage to Bentley so far. Mission accomplished there. Not find any kills on the site. There you go. A triple swing on the Grizz. Will fall quickly. That thing responded from the side.
Yeah, Ben Lee charging forward, but surrounded by 4 players. No chance. Still an opportunity, though, because there's no CT smoke. The bomb will at least get dropped. Chop arriving to the scene as well, but excellent shooting out of Consti. Instant headshots all around for him. And that's going to be Badass's first really nitty-gritty round. Really messy, but Badass hit the shots to get out of that situation.
Felt like that was a little bit scrappy, but it's all according to plan when you have so many members all watching the right positions. Everyone on Party Astronauts peeked into a position where there was 2 or 3 players just huddling by, ready to strike. So about as good as it gets for Badass considering. It was a little bit of a bonus though, so losing a couple from Moss's MP9s, not the biggest of deals. As they head into this next gun round, they've got 2 HEs and a mid stack, so I would have thought that was maybe going towards mid. It's going to clear the smoke, actually. They don't spot anything.
Thing is, what are we going to have here? Smoke's fading in window, and hi there. There's 3 players, but Consti and Dare. Just going to clean house. Excellent, again, excellent shooting to start off from Badass. That is going to set the tone of this game. You know, who's individually speaking, who's going to come out on top. And it's looking like Consti is definitely on a bit of a heater right now.
Good signs early. Going to start things off with a little bit of established control. You got Ponalone though, first gun round, first full buy coming through for PA, and he is already rocking the AWP here. See if he can bring in some of that energy. Misses his opportunity. Really good flash there, placed early. Is going to get Shane tucked in towards this corner deadly. If they want to take this mid control, you don't fully think there could be a player top boxes. That could be potentially the call there. So he's even further than top boxes. Now they have to worry about underpass as well. This is a great map control established already by Badass. And again, one of their strong suits here on this map of Mirage. I don't think so. Surely not. I don't think so. Well, maybe.
I think he does.
A little bit of something.
Just like but like a pixel.
Yeah.
Eh,
You'd have to register that though too. You know what I mean? It's like
Yep.
you might see a pixel, you think that's like a little pixel off the box.
I'm not saying he should get the kill, but you'd have to be a bit inhuman to be able to notice that.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's one extra pixel standing out right there. The slimmest of pickings. Right back up. I mean, they take some really good map control. They don't really get much off of it. They were hoping for some sort of duel, and now they fall back into what is going to be another A play here once again.
Good utility trade. You can see that PA are running out of nades while Badass still have an execute locked in the chamber, but it doesn't matter when Ben Lee charges forward and takes down Shane, the entry fragger on this one. Molly to stairs, but Ben Lee can play around this. Hell from Chop coming through as well. And things look awkward here on the site for Badass. 15 seconds. They have to get this bomb down and cleanly. It's looking possible as Consti and Dare are tearing up the connector setup. But planting, not quite out in the open spec. He's going to be patient with it. He's going to make his way around the site. Almost lines up both. Tries to transfer the spray. Now 1v1. Dare now down to 5 HP, but he's going to nail the headshot with the shoulder peek. Excellent shooting again out of Badass to get him out of the situation. 3-2.
Dare manages to maintain the headshot angle right there. I thought for sure he was going to step a little too wide. And that should have been a freebie right there, but as he takes that headshot angle, all that low HP, that 5 HP doesn't really matter too much. You gotta land the headshot. And in doing so, he's gonna collapse. What a clutch right there coming through from Dare to close that one out. Delivering Badass the lead here now, and even further chances on this T side. Out of the gates. Looking fantastic to recover that round. Spec though. Just eating an early HE that was just tossed directly at him. Not fun.
Yeah, I think Frankie is just going to have infinite patience here. I do think there is a small shadow advantage if you walk forward. You know,
I think you have
CT
to be
Wilson.
on that pot there to get like the full effect of this position, but yeah, there's a huge shadow advantage there. I don't know if it's been spotted there.
Ouch.
Yeesh. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there's shadow. Oh, Frankie's effect's gonna need to get his. And he does! Okay. There's one, but unfortunately, Chop couldn't get his. And, couldn't complete the sequence there. It's gonna be 4 rounds here for Badass to start.
It's always the call for the best ideals. Everyone get your one on this Deagle round, and then we win. That's all you have to do.
That is the truth.
To be fair, though, also Grizz didn't get his one out of the gates, so that kind of set that one already awry.
Tumbling.
Sometimes if someone gets 2, they can get gifted 1, so.
Yeah, they can get someone else's one.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta claim
And if someone
it,
gets
though.
an ace,
Everyone
you
gets
know?
one.
Everyone got their one.
The bomb might get
Believe
one
it-
here. I don't know if Dare is super safe. Yeah, I guess it's
Yep.
better than giving up that gun to Pone if he
Oh.
hits the jets. Oh, wrong way! He was
No!
a
Wrong
right, not a
way!
left. No.
Wrong way!
The bomb got his one.
I'm always rocking up with some excellent KD here in CS2. May I say, good ADR, good.
Most improved player.
Yeah, not necessarily good on the entry stats, I will say, but in closing out these rounds, the bomb putting in work, man.
Absolutely.
I'm just
yeah.
imagining like an HLTV stats page where it's just like the C4 icon. It's like players' stats.
I'm
you know,
sure. I'm
rounds.
sure they have that stat of like how many people have died to bomb. 100%.
They definitely do.
I wonder if they could translate that into
Into a rating. I'm not
low
sure.
impact, but high rating.
Yeah, giving Jame a real run for his money over there.
The question is, with every kill, this bomb explodes. Does it also mean it's a death?
But isn't it? I think it does count as a death to the bomb, unfortunately.
Yeah. So if everyone doesn't, I guess I don't know. Like sometimes like 8 people die to the bomb in like crazy rounds. I guess not 8 people, but like 4 or 3 or 4 in like the biggest rounds. So it'd be interesting to see how many people die to bomb in CS2 compared to Go. So definitely more. I mean, obviously the changes have affected the way that you have to play all maps at this point.
Yeah, we were talking about it on a previous broadcast, how it kind of changes the T-side economy. More Ts just go down to the bomb. It just forces more rebuys. So
I kind of like it, to be honest.
I do like it. It's not necessarily fun dying to the bomb,
Yeah,
but
it's annoying when I die to it. But when I watch other people like run away and like there's just no safety, I kind of like the action you get. And like even just Dare's little microplay didn't commit to dying to the bomb instead of pushing that smoke. I don't know. So it creates a lot of interesting situations here, but over towards the middle, this is some good control again for Badass. They just had to sacrifice a player to do it.
yeah, I mean, credit to Party Astronauts for still holding an aggressive setup very late into the round. Snav had no idea what hit him at top mid. But this is still a good setup. You can see in position here, Frankie ready to strike in the side. While the smoke fades top connector. That's a massive kill for Shane. That sets this site into disarray. Bentley in trouble, and he'll get deleted, removed. But Pone Alone's putting in work. That molly doesn't spread to him. And he's even going to be able to escape. The flash helping, and Pone Alone 3 kills with the A1S. Frankie grasping at air, trying to look for kills, but Shop's going to take that away from him. What a hold from Pone Alone to get 3.
That's massive. Speaking about a player who I feel like is taking on to CS2 quite nicely. Some people say, you know, you gotta really be young, elastic to try and adapt to a whole new game. Pone Alone, he's still rocking with what I would call is some really good rating, some really good performances here in CS2 so far. So quite like that. Was that a flashbang? I think it must have been a misclick right there, but a huge gap in the smoke. He's gonna blow that smoke open, and Pone was looking for a fight right there, but instead catches a lot of flack for it.
Molly here for Spec. Not going to stick around to find out, but Bentley will, and he'll get owned by Frankie in a main. The map starts to close in here onto Party Astronauts, but Grizz is going to fight his way out of it. Frankie removed from the situation. Now a 4v4. Attention towards Khan, and a great nade from Pone Alone. Love to see those mechanics in use. Man advantage, Party Astronauts.
Nicely done right there. New tricks coming through. Pone again aware of Snav's possible flank. He does go down even lower on HP, but Shane has to make some noise dropping. That's a little bit of a tough pill to swallow right there. Grizz able to land the silencer up there, and a freebie.
Yeah, Consti's position now known. Spec playing out from bench, just needs to stay alive, just needs to play his life, and recognizes that. No need to swing. And even gets a better position. Flash from Bone didn't quite hit, but he's going to nail the shot anyway. Spec playing some confident Counter-Strike here, even nails the jump. And it's 4-all as Party Astronauts are starting to hit their stride.
Absolutely locking things down here. Able to bring in some back-to-back strong rounds coming through from Pone Alone. Excellent work so far from him. Finding a lot of success here on this defense and putting them in a position where they can take that lead right on back. So thank you very much for holding that onto that for a little while. I'll be having some of that. Got Grizzly, as you can see, over there getting ready to peek towards stairs. Kind of like that. Maybe Grizz was taking on Face It, so just gotta rock the Grizzly tag.
I'll take it. Honestly, Grizz, Grizz is short, one syllable. It's aerodynamic, but Grizzly kind of just has more bite to it. I mean, it's the name of a bear after all. But there is also the upside that you can call him G-Riz if you'd like to. So
G-Riz. I like that one too. Maybe you can utilize
maybe that was
that
his
at
intention.
some point.
Maybe that was his intention.
Well, now that I see Grizzly, I'm not so sure.
Excellent headshot. There opens up for one. Sees another shoulder. Make it 3. As he cleans up all the players inside a window. Constantly hunting for a deagle headshot. He ain't going to be getting none of those. Farm those eeks, Grizzly. Let's go.
Spec trying to do the Exner Van jump right there.
Is that what it's called in the pro scene?
Yeah, I think that's the official name.
Guys, let's do the Exner.
Just a cheeky little jump there. I always call it that. Just to keep people on their toes.
You always call it that.
Let's get it trending. One by one. We gotta tell the masses here. Up towards the middle, though. They peek in. Actually, not a bad trade from Grizz, at least to keep things level. But the space is going to be claimed. That's a risky move from Prone alone. The ESL also pretty much the safe side now.
Oh, no. He just gets walked up on by Snap. Just absolutely knifed out here. But Grizz still alive. And 1 kill will be handed back, but forced to drop the smoke. Doesn't want to hang around for too long. And, well, the smoke's not going to save him. 1v3 for Ben Lee, and he's just hanging out on the B site. It's a bit of some errors from Party Astronauts. Just knife out for Pwn alone inside of Connector. And some guys swinging with the rifle and drops him.
It felt like a lot of conditioning from Badass to take things pretty slow, or at least towards the middle, not take too much contact early. They had some aggression coming through from Shane early on, but we haven't seen that sort of explosive nature of a round where someone's just running headfirst towards middle right at them. And right there, it kind of does cost them. Playing that kind of calm, lackadaisical, not really ready for the aggression. I think that'll be duly noted from PA that that's a possibility, and see if they can quickly adapt to that aggression.
Yeah, Bonalone was kind of convinced that they were behind the top mid boxes, not already close up the chair. But this is a reposition. This is a new look. Bonalone getting posted. Position as well from Ben Lee. A great molly as well, forcing them into the line of fire here. Ponalone does go in for a second, but does miss the shot. Backed up by Chop, though, and it's a 3 versus 5. It's a dominant position, but Ben Lee's been hurt. He's going to be watched for here, but doesn't matter. He still wins the fight versus Snap, and Consti is swinging at air. He can't find the shot, but he will get it with a Tech 9. 6 shooting there from Badass Gaming, but they're still down in a 2 versus 4 from sheer individualism from Party Astronauts.
Heard some typing right there. I imagine some words were exchanged on that double dink with a Tech 9. And now the question is, what's the end goal? Would it be the worst idea to silently crawl up towards that B side right now? Because while you do have Chop deep in apps to secure at least. Oh.
Oh, and I think that just gave up the round.
Chop's like, oh, I hear something catwalk. Something's jumping around there.
Yeah, and if they didn't make any noise, good chance they just shift walk up. And Party Astronauts would actually be in a pretty precarious spot despite being up 2 players. But that's going to call that one off. Bomb's going to head off to spawn, and we'll see the timer run out. Party Astronauts will pick up 6. Still trying to squeeze something out of the round. Trying to do more with less, but it's been Party Astronauts who have been on the comeback trail. They started this game losing a couple of the opening gun rounds, but keeping it level on the CT side. It's a pretty strong start here in CS2.
HE did a little chunk. They're going to do a little palace dive. Try and close out this half. This could be fun. 4 players just diving in. They're walking out, actually. He's solo.
Oh, massive timing miss, but Ben Lee gets one, almost gets another, sees the legs, but there isn't a trade. The off holding from Palace is really locking these players in, but a great flick from Pwn alone. That nade also to finish off Dare. Perfection here from Pwn inside a CT spawn, but will that be enough to win the round? Badass Gaming have control of the site, jungle, stairs, and the likes. But Chop sees an opportunity to walk through the smoke. He hears the footsteps. He knows there's a gap in the hold. He walks out and claims Frankie. Now it's a 1v2 here for Snav. Swinging for the fences. I mean, he just keeps going. Confidence here from Party Astronauts as they'll notch themselves a 7th. We'll head off to a halftime break to see who can take the second half. And we are back. 7-5 here for Party Astronauts. They lost the first couple of opening gun rounds, but then put together a spree and hit their stride. And fine job by Cole Exer McHenry. Badass move to the CT side to try and stop all this momentum.
See what they can do here. Slow things down for PA. Good closing statement to the half here. That was a little left and right smoke tossed in towards Jungle. A little bit of a quicker landing. And then Ben Shmali to toss in as the icing on the cake here. But it seems to be a bit of a fake as they look to work their way up catwalk here. Jared just swung into the whole team.
Yeah, that's the last thing you expect here. The cat player's like, okay, I can safely rotate into Con. Nah, he beats the whole team. But the whole rotate is here as well from Badass. And there it is. 3 kills back in. But eventually, Bentley does walk out of A main. It's a little bit of deception here coming in from Party Astronauts, but it's cost them players. Can they convert upon it? Bentley has a lot on his plate as multiple players are coming in through the murder hole, but he just hears them all move past into CT spawn until Snav is watching the murder hole. This is a 1v4 for Chop. That is about to be very difficult. Can he do it from triple? He has to play these angles perfectly. First target in front of him, but he couldn't hit the instant headshot. That ends it. And it's 7-6 here as second pistol will go to Badass Gaming.
A little bit awkward right there. I mean, I'm just impressed with the way the Badass were able to rotate that quickly. You do find those kills. You have the smokes towards the A side, but they were playing a retake setup on A anyways. So they smoke into an already empty bomb site. They're locked out of those smokes. And pretty early on in rotation, Dare finds 3 players on Catwalk. When you're 3 players on Catwalk, you kind of expect it to be towards that B side. And so the 3 players rotating towards that CT side of things, they're already on B. Ready to go. Like you said, just a sacrifice of a lot of members to try and fake things out right there. Does not work in favor of PA. Instead, they're going to have to work within the confines of this force buy. Getting ready to toss in some smokes here, I believe, towards CT spawn to lock in that first one.
Yeah, and there's the second flying in towards top connector to try and escort in this push. Bentley leading up with the Tech 9. Does have flashbang support from inside of A main, but Dare dodges it. And then a boost assembled as well in CT spawn. The space gained here is simply not enough right now for Party Astronauts. They need kills, and they're not getting them. Dare gets another. The mid lurk of Spec goes down. Pwn alone will try to set down the bomb. It's awkward, though, the positioning. I think that might be all they can get unless Grizz can turn this round around. He almost gets 3. It needs to be this from Pwn alone, and he can do it. Certainly low HP remaining here on Shane. 8 HP. The Glock's going to do it. Pwn alone looking to put together a 1 versus 3. Now in the 1v1, he even hears Frankie up close. He plays with a MAC-10, but can't get the kill. What an effort from Pwn alone to make it close. The Badass will squeak away on the anti-force.
Ooh, bomb wasn't planned for him. I imagine that factored into that decision to maybe push forward as well. He can't really play off the bomb from deep CT spawn. A lot of times you'd want to bait Frankie in and hide around that corner right there to try and buy time, but he tries to move forward there to give himself a closer fight to make sure he can play off that bomb effectively. And a nice attempt coming through from Pwn is going to facilitate another force buy, no question about it. These guys aren't ready to give up on the gas just yet. I'm going to continue to press that pedal to the floor. They've got themselves AKs and Galeals to do it. The utility to back it up. But on the other end of things, plenty to go around as well. So, a lot of tools. The smoke spam comes through out of the gates there. Grizz able to capitalize.
Yeah, just vaporized in window. See ya, Constantine, by 3 separate players. Dare, though, taking these steps forward and absolutely delivers on a great kill. And is even sticking around. Like, just wants to get as many punishes as possible in. He does pick up the 1, make it a 4 versus 4. And puts Party Astronauts in a very weird spot. They put all their opening eggs into the mid basket, but oh, they're not working with that control. They're stuck in T-spawn for the first 45 seconds of this round.
Do a little bit of a long reroute. Shane. Just hiding. Got a player now jump spotting, so maybe a little bit of a bait and switch here. With the AUG taking contact, jumping on his teammates. What is happening? Look at this, man. There's just no way. He had to uncrouch so you could jump spot a little bit easier. And they take that contact, but again, there's still a player hiding in the left side that might not go accounted for.
Yeah, they might hold that missile side. The right side is CT spawn, but could cost them. But you can see Ponolo's not really considering the actual ticket booth itself. Still fortunate it's not being planted in the open or anything like that. It's going to be a safe bomb plant coming through rather for Party Astronauts. They're making a lot of footsteps here in connector. Might not know what lurks around the corner. Like, no footsteps have been made. No indication that Party Astronauts are even in this position. First kill and second for Pwn as he transfers into 2 clueless players. There's a trade back, at least from Snap, but no kit on this. There's just simply no time as Pwn alone is deleting everyone. 15 and 6, and he's doing it with the rifles. This is going to be an 8th round for Party Astronauts. This is the last person I would think who's running around deleting players on the map. Pwn alone is having a game right now.
Nicely done from Pwn, man. That double up in connector was unreasonable. I was, for a second there, thinking they were going to smoke off jungle as the best avenue of approach. You saw Dare had a smoke that he threw in towards Palace instead. And you know, could have been tossed in towards jungle. In hindsight, maybe best he would have tossed it in towards jungle because Pone just broke them apart. If he was left behind that smoke, there wasn't a lot he could do. But instead, he just steps on up. Wasn't able to close out that 1v3. He came so close in that last round. But this time around, he gets a shot at doing damage in this. And he's able to deliver here. I love this boost, though.
Cool, but they can only hold it for so long. Once players start arriving inside of connector, it's problem. I was gonna put a smoke down in underpass though, and try and extend the life cycle of this boost. How long will it last? Oh, it's almost a double swing into it. They're in trouble here.
God.
Yeah, Snap's in big trouble. Time to run down into connector. Fight for yourselves. And doing that exactly is Frankie. One. And spam through the smoke as well as good. The Glock brought out as well. Will finish off Shane, but not ready for the next. No, he is! He's gonna get snapped too with the Glock through the smoke. Let's go!
Dude, he's just shooting inside the smoke wildly. Able to connect onto the first because he kind of lined it up before he enters. So that's the second one. It's just flicking your mouse in darkness and hoping that something lands right there. That is unbelievable. Looks like the counter force by measures here not going to go too well for them. One big hope is that they walk into this B bomb site, walk into the stack here, but looks more likely. Yeah, Spec has just jiggled things out. He just got a little bit of vision on a player back bench. This is going to be an A-side finish.
Easily here, Ben Lee will get that plant. And Badass are kind of staring down the barrel of could just be a 10-7 lead for Party Astros. This next one is gonna be brutal. I mean, if you're Badass, would you consider just I dare say it, doubling down again? But even the buy, if they full eco, will be pretty paltry. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't go for the force buy here. There's still a little bit of runway to work with. If you can just get some guns out, get some tools out for your CT side, you know, get Dare on an op for this next gun round.
Yeah, but they won't.
Find yourself in a good position.
I'm not sure. Is Snav's 1100 enough to bank up for an AWP? I think it is, just barely. 2400 loss bonus guaranteed for the next, I suppose.
Yeah,
but I don't think Dare's going to be on an op. Yeah, that doesn't. It doesn't add up. This game state that Badass find themselves in is very precarious, and it feels kind of ugly taking a full eco here in round number 17.
Yeah, I mean, not the ideal time here. To let Party Astronauts try and stabilize on this T side. They can build up some confidence. They can build up some bank. Meanwhile, you're still left with pots and pans after that force. I think the big way to get that op in that next gun round would have been to have Dare save a little bit, but without that, might be limited.
Hold on, there's just something working though on the site. Oh, the grid is perfect entry, but there's the back. Problem is, the bomb isn't even committed towards that B site. So despite the stack, the Desert Eagles, the pistols, picking up players, it's just simply not going to be enough. That Snap gets dismissed by Chop, and charging into the site is Shane with just an armorless USP. He gets sent sidelined. And it's going to be 10 here for Party Astronauts. I was just playing a bit of devil's advocate with the idea that maybe Badass could have force spot in this round. It's not like the best idea I've ever had, but I mean, you're about to see the situation that they're in. It's very important that Consti holds onto this rifle. It could give a chance for an op to be dropped over if he survives.
Ooh, that kill's huge. Extra $300 actually, I think gives him that chance because he does have armor. He would have a Galil. But
he needs to get
he
away
needs to
though.
save the armor, I think, is the biggest key.
And he won't. I think that's a huge lifeline that has just been extinguished here for Badass. They're going to have to win rounds the old-fashioned way. We don't do no scopes, none of that. Oh, but... Oh, Snap's going to go for it. Okay, I thought... Okay, he was going to be armorless, but I think he got a kill. That gave him an extra 300 to make it feel comfortable enough. But it's going to Consti instead of Dare.
What? Maybe spawn. Looking at Consti spawn, though. Nothing super special.
There's
I mean,
Dare
if
who
anything,
actually had the best
window
spawn.
spawn.
Yeah.
Okay. This is news to me. A little bit of a surprise there. They're sticking to the rifles. Constantly going to be wielding the AWP. Wow. Didn't expect that. For all the right reasons out of the gates, just one player plucked out through the smoke. And Dare is in a position where he takes 2.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Dare's position is just unbeatable right now. Jump up. Oh, hi there, Consti. But who else is in towards top mid? Dare needs to turn around, and it'll simply dismiss Spec. So, you know, we raised a lot of questions whether there would be an op in the opening gun round. We were proven wrong every single time. And it was Consti who picked it up, got the opening pick, and a perfect setup from Badass is going to get them this round.
I mean, a beautiful setup right there. Constantly with the opener sets Tear up for success. Even Snav was able to collapse in on that. About as good as it gets. Do you have a smoke to gather that bomb, though? They're all kind of sticking around here. They could isolate these duels. Yeah, that was a little bit of a concern, but as I say that, the instant equalizer, or I guess the 1-for-1, is that eventually Grizz does fall. And Chop might just want to save this op.
Yeah, I think he's going to do that. There's a chance Grizz tried to cross out towards top mid boxes, and probably in hindsight, he's like, yeah, I probably should have done that. Round still definitely would have been live in a 2v3 with bomb control. But the timer is going to tick on down. And yeah, in a round that we had a lot of doubts in, Badass do pick it up. Just, I mean, honestly, a mid setup that it just felt like it couldn't be beat by just simply 3 players. Again, that opening pick from Consti, but Dare was winning that round no matter what happened inside of connector and window. So, gotta respect it. Badass kind of won that round twice over. It was just a setup alone.
Really impressive mid collapse here coming through. You can really appreciate. I think that's a key to success here on the CT side, is the way that the CTs take this mid control. So pretty impressive kickoff for Badass when they do get the tools back on out. Look at this though. Feels like a pretty off spawn call to gear it up towards that A side with bomb kind of positioned close by. A couple players ready to explode on out. This does seem like a bit of a fake.
The thing is passive positioning here from Badass is going to limit the information they get on exactly how many players are out from A main. You could see that Grizz is creeping up Con. And trying to put some pressure on. Smoke's about to fade top Con, and Snav, how prepared is he for it? Prepared, certainly. Maybe another here. Ben Lee crosses over. Snav is delivering back. Swings the barrel across the connector. The site picks up 2. But Opponent alone scoping in. He could bring this equalizer here. He gets himself in the sandwich. While Snav continues to pick apart his team. That makes 3 here. Just from the stairs position alone. Opponent alone. Get that bomb plant in. But Chop sees all 3 players inside a jungle. Surely that's an opportunity, but nothing giving here from Badass. The plant will go through, but very precautious positions here for PA.
It's going to be Poe with the reload. He gets 5 more bullets in his chamber, and he has to isolate these duels.
And he can't hit the shots. It's the problem here. Pone alone dancing around default. Helped out by Chop, though, from up top, but could not hit another. Pone alone needed to find impact there, but it is Dare on 6 HP. If he gives up the game here, there could be some problems. And Chop, he's completely gaming him. Chop needs to swing now, though. Chop needs to swing now, and he goes for the diffuser rather than the person covering. There's a serious chance he could take down Dare, and then the next. A Badass will squeak away.
Oh, just squeaking by right there. 100% could have stolen that round from right underneath Badass's grasp. I mean, that largely comes down to Pone alone hitting those late round shots. I mean, usually such a good player in those clutches. So good at isolating those duels. Rare to see him kind of flustered like that, but gets caught with a little bit of an awkward late round situation and unable to recover his aim in time. Chop left into a really dire 1v2. That's going to be a timeout called, second utilized from PA. The decision here would probably be to get some actual guns in this one. Maybe a hero rifle could be utilized in this round to try and keep that economy low for Badass.
Yeah, but this is a real comeback effort that's coming through. Huge round there from Snav, by the way. 3 kills from Stairs when it looks like he was just done for immediately from Connector. As well, really patient play, dealing with every player individually, and kind of capitalizing the fact that Party Astronauts swinging one by one. Nav able to more so defy the odds in every single engagement, so really strong to see that he's turning up in the late stages on Mirage. Working with this was a tactical into a tech. Make sure things get in order. But you were talking about, yeah, maybe a small investment here. Party Astronauts keep that economy a bit lower. I think the opposite is what Badass want. They want a clean one out of this. I don't expect anything too crazy. But maybe that's what Party Astronauts could take advantage of. Maybe they could be the one who throws a bit of a spanner and, you know, a couple of nades could do just that.
100%. Catch you by surprise. Instead of going for the hero rifle, they kind of spread themselves out a little bit on the purchases. They got themselves a lot of utility in this round. That could be utilized to close the distance. Spec, though, a lot of HEs tossed in towards the middle right there. Doesn't really eat too much damage in the meantime, and just trying to keep attention of the catwalk player turn so that Frankie doesn't have a lot of help here.
Here we go. It's going to be the full execute in. Maybe 5 seconds earlier, there would just be Frankie, but now there's a full defense on the site available, and Consi sniping down player after player. There's 3. And that's the round. You know, we've all expected Dare to show up with the AWP, but Consi picking it up and really just putting in work. Maybe a bit of a philosophy change from guys at Badass. Maybe Dare getting off of it, being a CS2. Little boost action not working out. So it's good to see Consi stepping up into a bit of a newer role for himself.
Yeah, I would imagine that a large part of it does have to do with the CS2 transition. I mean, Dare back in Go was an absolute beast with the op, and felt like he was constantly doing damage up against, especially, like, I would say more specifically, like, lower tier teams. He would just, you know, level out anyone that was kind of a move up roster. Was an absolute beast versus those teams, and was a huge reason as to why Badass kind of took that spot as a gatekeeping team. Like you said, philosophy changes, maybe comfort as they head into this new period of time where they are using Consti with the AWP.
It's getting really activated on all these angles. We'll say now, Dare. Yeah, he picks up the rifles and puts it to work. Drops spec, no problem. Again, just changing in and out of the angles. Badass collecting opener after opener here. Palace is a huge weak spot right now, though. And that's where 3 players of Party Astronauts are going towards. Will be a rotation to try and provide coverage for that. But even Dare doesn't seem aware of this possibility. He's going to drop a smoke as players falling out of Palace, but still makes good on the kill. Not ready for the last one in A main, though. Shane picks up one and back turn to CT spawn. Snap has got this one triangulated. The setup is always there for Badass, no matter how many players they lose on entry.
So prepared right there. So ready. And I mean, again, we were at a point where we were a little bit nervous that Badass were going to have a chance in this defense to stabilize, to have that op presence. They've got all those tools. Snav continuing to play a very good game so far. The rotations have been quick, they've been sharp, and Party Astronaut struggling to find answers. Those answers will not come. I feel like Badass soon to claim themselves map point on their own map pick. I mean, we know their strength on Mirage is evident, but it just looks to be very comfortable for them here.
And see good utility usage as well from Shane. A perfectly timed molly in towards A main. Even Badass, they're not gonna wait. They're just gonna charge through the smoke. Dare gets 2. And that's about all there is to be said. Ben Lee hoping and praying to get the plant. He will get it. I suppose mission accomplished here for Party Astronauts, but Badass Gaming have picked up 5 rounds in a row and are now on map point.
Close to that finish line. Feeling confident. Just need one more to lock this one in. Do PA have anything to say? Once they've hit double digits, they have been silenced. 2 opportunities to close right now.
This would be a little bit worrying if I was PA to drop a map in this kind of fashion. Even with Pwn alone absolutely popping off, I should mention Pwn alone was 15-6 at one point. And 16-13 off the map right now. In terms of his performance, I wouldn't even call it an individual thing. I think just the CT side setups here from Badass have just been the right recipe every time. Consti now pushing forward. Does not get a chance to fire, but to go back from Dare as he just peeks top stairs and drops 2. Okay. Sure.
They can still rifle clearly as well. Just deletes 2 players right there immediately. They don't know what hit them. And so that man advantage was once there, quickly taken away.
Dude.
Frankie's just barreling in apartments here to look to lock this thing in. This could be comfortable to close.
Yeah, he just fixed bayonets and charged the bomb carrier. If he goes down, maybe it gets weird. But now it's all over the place. Grizz doesn't know if he wants to fly out of the apartments or not, take that individual fight. In the meantime, Ben Lee trying to work up middle, had a chance at a kill, desperately needed it. He'll jump in a window, but this has been heard. Dare watching for it. Insta headshot. Grizz is in some trouble. The 1v3. He knows he has a 1v1 on the site, but cannot win it versus Snap. It's going to be Badass Gaming. 6 rounds in a row, non-stop, perfect setups. It can't get better than this for them.
That's an incredible CT side put together. Again, we saw some questions as to what their economy was going to look like and if they were going to have the ops, if they were going to have the right tools, but then you see them get all the weapons out, everything you could ask for on a CT side, lights out from there, locked it down, didn't struggle at all. So an incredible performance there towards the tail end for the side of Badass, and that makes me look forward to this next map.
Yeah, Overpass is coming up next, and Badass Gaming are actually a team that just look more individually alike. They're making the better individual decisions. They got the better setups, and they definitely deserve to win Mirage. Maybe worrying signs for PA. We'll see if they can pick it up on their choice of Overpass. We'll be back in just a bit with more ECL.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Nothing but the fading light.
And we're climbing back aboard here on Overpass. We have Badass who actually pick up map number 1. Kind of unexpected considering the opposition they're against, but we kind of prefaced this whole series by saying anyone can take any map. And it seems like Badass played well. 6 rounds to close it out. They were the better team on Mirage. And so now we move to Overpass where PA have to recover.
Absolutely. So very impressed with the performance there from Badass on that CT side. Just really locked it in. Made sure that there was no chance for Party Astronauts to really build any comfort. We'll see if that same CT depth comes through here. Great flash to facilitate them on in there. Find that note from the side, actually. They still have a player tucked in. Oh, he's actually dead too. So Dare's left on an island, and Grizz is going to find them all on the entry there. This is a great turnaround for PA.
Yeah, finally something going their way. It's also helped out by the fact that Ben throwed bangers from the back of Monster. No one on the site can see a darn thing. Barrels player gone, Pit player gone, and Grizz then does clean up for the remaining 2. It's going to be tough here for Frankie. First is good, but met with a double swing. And that's going to be PA's pistol round. They're looking to get off to a good start here.
Oh, the gates there looking pretty impressive. Like you said, they're perfectly throwing flashes. Can go a long way. Blinding up so well that I could even see what was going on there. And they will lock in solid first round here. The pistol success coming through leads to a full eco, so a lot of priority on getting those guns out. We saw a little bit of issues with Badass and their economy on the CT side of Mirage. I'm going to make sure that doesn't come through at all here. Trying to get those good purchases in immediately.
Those purchases are not going to be perfect, but they are rifles at the end of the day, and maybe if these pistols can, again, rule of 3, knock down 3 players, then maybe we're talking. But right now, it's the MAC-10 of Ben Leet that's working through the bathroom side of things, so doesn't really look like any of that kind of stuff is going to be happening here. I kind of miss the days of the CT Force Buy. Those are when we were all getting excited here, but we're more like that other game where we have to take ecos every other round. Because money.
What we need to do is bring back the 2-shot Deagle.
You know what? I think that was one of the better changes that was made in Counter-Strike. I think that gun should be a 3-shot.
Ooh.
Being fair, yeah, more for like noobs like you. I hit the head, alright?
Ooh. Give me the 2-shot body shot Deagle.
Dude, that thing could just anchor down a whole site. I just remember on old, like, train A site, there's just the guy sitting bottom of A ramp with the Deagle, and he just goes, sees the first guy, bop, bop. Second guy, bop, bop. Third guy, bop, bop. And it's like, that was like the most unskillful 3K I've ever seen, but a 3K it is, and they win the force buy. I forget which
to
team,
the untrained eye, it would be unskillful. But to someone who is just of high class and does love a good force buy,
enjoys abusing mechanics of the game, yes. I understand you're a force buy enjoyer, but you have to you have to exploit.
My constant Deagle armor purchases were a lot more effective when I could 2-shot body shot.
Oh, what a shot there from Grizz to open up. Don't need Deagles. He's got the AK to work with. Still providing some presence, at least Badass. Dare covering from long. But losing that opening kill, that space gain immediately taken away. And now, as Party Astronauts can just push all the buttons here. Dare is in a very rough spot right now. About to be flanked from bottom of long. He's getting timing no matter what happens here. He's going to get shot in the back by 2 players, and that's that. Snap to move forward. He might be the next player to walk in the jaws. The awaiting T. There you go. He gets to 1, but another T is there for the trade, and this round's over. It's 3-0 Party Astronauts. Easy for them.
Nice little opening pick right there. Already establishes the early success, and then it felt like Badass were pretty eager to try and follow up there and answer some of those openings. Instead, they just walked into some brutal traps manufactured there. Great look out of the gates here for PA. 3-0 start. This time they're fielding some success on their T side, which was not really something we could say too much on that last go around, that last map. Up against the Rifles, it felt like just constant victory, constant opening pick success for Badass, good setups. This time around, it seems like they might be struggling to coordinate, which maybe you would expect leading into the opposition's map pick.
I will say the Deagle's probably not the first thing I'd change. I think, you know, maybe the CT side, to make it a little bit more realistic, they get like government subsidies or something like that. Why do the good guys have to be broke all the time? Shouldn't every map be CT sided for like lore purposes? I don't know. I like the good guys. You know, sometimes in Lego Batman, I'd enjoy playing as the Penguin, but not here.
Good Batman. I only played the Lego Star Wars series and Lego Indiana Jones.
Now, all those games are absolutely class, but did you play Lego Racers 2?
I've not. Never even
Where
heard of
you
that
could
one.
build your own cars. It was incredible. I would make some absolute monstrosities with my 4-year-old mind. I don't think they'd pass any aerodynamics tests. Either way, we're flying out here out of monster right now. It's just the one defender and Shane. Constantly with an armorless Deagle down low. Doesn't matter how many Lego games he's played. Doesn't matter if you're the good guy, because you don't have any cash to work with. 4-0 here for Party Astronauts. Much stronger start than what we were seeing there on Mirage.
They had no bread. No money to buy into this one. Other than the saved guns. That'll be another quick decision to call on a save here. PA really getting away with a whole lot in terms of map control. A little concerning out of the gates. Their default is netting them so much ground. What I've noticed is pretty hard here about CS2, I've mentioned it quite a bit, is I feel like a lot of good teams who had really proactive bathroom setups are no longer fielding the same success. And I'm not sure exactly why when it comes to like, oh, you have your like best rifler, your most cerebral rifler, playing bathrooms with your opper is a pretty standard approach. I feel like you need even more resources now in CS2 to really establish that control, because teams are taking that control so quickly against you. And again, I feel like that A side is a big time buying measure of how much utility and how much resources you can draw out of the pockets of Party Astronauts. And so far, I feel like they're getting away with a lot, having to use a little. Maybe it comes down to like the Molotovs. Something as simple as that, like the Molotovs changing.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked with a couple pro players, and like, new Molotovs are gigantic. Like someone actually spilled their drink. Not that like small little puddle they were anymore. Mostly because I think they don't really
quickly too.
Yeah, it does more damage quickly. I don't think it also spreads as much. It just instantly, you know, becomes full size. You know, Molly spreading is probably one of the lamest things that could happen, because you don't know. It's like, oh, am I safe or am I not? And then it spreads and you just die.
It's like, oh, that was fun.
Yeah, that was... I'm sure so many pro players have enjoyed randomly dying when they don't think they're about to die. That could be Grizz here, because Consti posted up on the angle, but he's in a very committed position. Like, front bathroom compromise, it didn't even matter. He walked into Pone's off. That man was dead twice over. Snav trying to reclaim ground, but again, just can't fight the op. Once it gets back on the line, you are suppressed. You cannot move. Snav is going to try and do that, though, and just finds a thread to get 2 kills out of it. Trying to salvage this round, as well as Dare drops Pone alone down to 1 HP. Serious opportunities here. Shane can't walk through the smoke. He needs to wait for Frankie, so we have a set 2v2.
Got a late flank rolling out as well. But how much impact can this flank find? He's going to get flanked himself. Chop. His footsteps heard. just towards the tail end, I feel like, and yeah, she's turned around. The time's
stopping.
ticking, and he wins that duel.
Wow! What a shot there from Chop. His opponent knew he was coming through, but he got it anyways. And Shane, you're not inside the smoke. What? Oh no. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, there was a chance, but Chop walks up and is like, "Oh, you are currently outside of the smoke," and makes it easy for a 5-0 start for Party Astronauts. What a shot there from Chop to save that round.
I thought he was dead to rights right there, walking into the angle, but not quite able to walk away the victor. 5-0. This T side dominating for Party Astronauts. This is very, very scary for the side of Badass, who have had already shown us some depth on the CT side, but can no longer manufacture that once again. Struggling to figure out what went right.
I mean, Overpass is just a bigger map. Realistically, Mirage only has 3 lanes to work with. Here you got 4, even 5 if you want to count Connector, so... You will see Badass working towards B short, but can't handle the Connector presence, and there you go. 3 players drop immediately, and Badass are just looking out of sorts. It's Party Astronauts who are just tearing them apart.
For their dominance here, that's a nice one from Frank. He needs a lot more than just that, though. You don't want much of a chance in this one.
Like, he's gonna have to win this round with his hands.
Get in the fights.
Yeah.
Surely they back up after that. Now
Yeah,
let's
after
both
you
players
see
spotted.
2. Yeah, Ben Lee's in some trouble here, but both players spotted it short. Ben Lee is doing a great job at just leading them along. The player's walking out Monster, and Ponalone's just gonna take him down with help of a team kill. I've been seeing so many more team kills in CS2. I'm not sure about you.
I don't know. I haven't seen, like, maybe many more than I usually see. Maybe a lot of NA Counter-Strike, you know, you get those weird lineups. You get the classic-
Yeah, and didn't dry run well enough.
Yeah, sometimes that tends to happen. Maybe also my, like, I don't know, my sensitivity to team killing is a lot lower because I do it so often in my games.
Either way, Party Astros are just absolutely running rampant around the map. Badass have been just forced back into spawn, basically. Tucked away on the sites, no bathrooms control. Just a singular player out towards long. One hope here is a little boost action going down on the B site. And it works out. Ben Lee goes down. Dare up top. Oh, but Shane gets deleted next, and Spec is going to completely turn it around. He almost gets the third 2 on a rampage here. His Party Astronauts, and Grizz could even cut off rotates. He could do whatever he wants with this round.
Has some options. He has some chances to cook here. Should just be able to walk in a flank. Chasing down that kill there. That is big. That is massive, but there's that Grizz flank. As mentioned, and it just so happens to pluck the high HP bar off of the round. It's just Darren Consti with a combined 26 to try and close this thing out.
Yeah, and Grizz also returns back in towards short, but I'm not sure if its position's known or not. It probably is, but it doesn't matter as Pone alone snipes down the 2 remaining. They were low HP anyways. It could have been easy for Grizz, but op shots will do as it's 7-0 for Party Astronauts.
We're going to just stake their claim on this map. They picked into it for a clear reason. Badass were able to show a lot of comfort on that CT side of Mirage. It just looked so clean for them. Looked like they were just coordinating perfectly. This, it feels like we're just seeing Party Astronauts run away with things. You get us onto Overpass, they'll start to assert our dominance. We'll start to show who's favored in this head-to-head. This is the Party Astronauts I came into the series kind of talking about. Just excited to see this. I mean, Spec in that last round just puts it on full display, what he's capable of. A beautiful double entry to pull that advantage back into the favor of PA.
Yeah, we were missing some of that just, flair that we're seeing right now from Party Astronauts, we're also seeing just prime positions that these players weren't able to be in on Mirage. They were just simply getting outstratted there by Badass, constantly walking into 3-man setups. But here, you're going to see that Spec has the opportunity to get favorable fights. First entry onto Shane is real nice. And then comes away with a conversion. Like, the players on PA just simply didn't have that setup on their T side like they do here now on Overpass. Just comfort, I'd have to say. Spec, once again, going to be in charge, but moving 5-7s will do the trick.
A little bit of a double up and con there. Trying to get aggressive early, although Chop was tucked in, covered. Will find himself 2 free picks right there. They didn't expect him to be hiding about. We'll take that with a smile on his face. They're going to regress as well. That HE's really well placed. Gives over a sound cue as well.
Yeah, 2 more challengers on the way. Chop will gladly oblige and traded out by Ben Lee, calling in for support. No Party Astronaut player untraded. And that just leaves Frankie here in a 1v3, probably to meet his doom here by Ben Lee. Or escape with the rifle, one or the other. Pick your poison. Oh, he runs out of ammunition. That is the worst kind of poison. That one stings. That's going to be 8-0 now for Party Astronauts. Like, already an absolutely dominant T side on a map like Overpass. And the fashion that they've been doing it in as well has been really impressive.
100%. This is incredible resilience on the PA. Come through, they lose their opponent's map pick, but the whole time they're just saying, get me to Overpass. Where they have been able to do nothing but win rounds and do it in a confident fashion as well here. Speaking of confidence, Ben Lee going to be sent aggressive on and early, taking a fight towards Snap.
Wow.
He'll just level him. Headshot was necessary as he goes down low.
Shane does fight back with another. Short control established. Dare and Shane come together with 2, but oh, that noise spread to him. Dare's going to stay in this position tucked, but Frankie in the meantime pushing out from Monster and will get domed. He just had a dink. But is that enough? The bomb set flying forward though. That's a problem, as it will be Badass who mop up this one. Short re-aggression and a flurry of frags. Thriving in the chaos here. They needed a little bit of that.
Dare just says, leave it up to me here. I'm going to win us this one. Finds a lot of that quick, short aggression. Deals with that, especially when you start things off in such a scary 4v5. I mean, out of the gates, it just looks like it's going to be more of the same before that turnaround comes through and that response is had. Dare able to win out on all of his duels. He's leading the pack by quite a bit on his side. On the side of Dare, everyone is standing low on the highest is 3, which is not great.
Little short execute here. I think that might have been a miss smoke meant for the connector door. By any stretch, it's just getting awkward because we're not going towards connector and short this round. Badass commit their players there once again, trying to replicate the success. Instead, it's towards bathrooms. Constantly does have his AWP trained. The Party Astronauts are just going to walk around it. No problem.
Bypass this long player completely. They might not be so fortunate on the Frankie here. Jump spot. Ooh, that's a quick spot on Pone. He's trying to decide what he wants to do with that smoke, but indecision is to retreat and give that space up. And next thing he knows, he's going to pop up towards jump up with players in his face already.
Oh, but he gets the kill? I mean, maybe Spec was not expecting that reposition. Maybe, okay, he's guaranteed over towards Bank. We've got that locked in, but a good reposition there from Frankie. Catches the player off guard, but there will be a bomb plant and a flank on the long player. Does Chop recognize this threat? So does Consti, though, and he'll nail the shot. Now a 2v4, 2v3, though, and that Ponalone off can ring true in this retake. He might be in a 1v3, but he is in the power position, but smoke on the bomb could save the day here, and I think it will. Has no chance for that op to find any targets. It's 2 in a row here for Badass.
That's incredible presence of mind from Consti. If he goes down, there's a rifle close by to help out in that clutch. So it was necessary that he stays up, he stays living, and he stays available for the fight right there. And able to do so perfectly. Huge relief right there coming through for the side of Badass. They need these later rounds. They need these tail end rounds to go their way. Otherwise, you're staring down the barrel. A quick defeat. If they get 4, walk away with a lot of momentum here. There could be something to be said.
Boost action. 4 players set up on the B site right now for Badass. It's a very committed one. Something you can do on overpass. But if the T's find out that you're 4 set up B, it's going to be a tough round. I'll tell you that. Splitting off just for now. It's a full execute. This round's about to get explosive. Flash, though, is kind of off the mark, but doesn't stop Chop from entering up onto Frankie. But then Shane falls next, and Dare on the site. He needs to put up a clinic, and that he does! 3 kills with the AK! And leaves Pone alone in the clutch, but he gets the space onto the site. He has opportunities to pick up the bomb. Is room to maneuver. That is a dangerous asset here for Pone alone. He'll set it down for the fake. Spots both players. A missed shot, though, unfortunately. Now his options close in on him, and Consti will give him one final one. An op shot there in a 3rd round for Badass Gaming. What a comeback here to at least keep it close.
I was a little bit concerned as to what we were going to see out of this op. Being consistent, constantly going in to the AWP for Consti and Dare kind of wielding the rifle. Rounds like that, man, make you start to think. Very clearly showing some incredible strength here with that AWP. This Consti and rifling for Dare just looks so comfortable, so it's pretty sick when it all works out. 14 and 10 for Dare so far. Leading the pack by a healthy margin now.
Man, I say he's individually talented on all fronts. Here is Dare. Initial concern that we had was, he was an op beast in Go, but just pick up the rifles and put together 3K at the 3K. We'll see if he can do it again here on the A site. First test will be Snav. He'll fall. Consti will be called back into rotation as Dare goes down next. The onus is on you here, and he misses the shot. Chop. Great headshot in there. And Shane, he's going to toss himself into the ring, right into Chop, into the buzzsaw. That will finally cap off this half for Party Astronauts. We're looking at 9-3 here, Cole. Overall, a good comeback from Badass, but the numbers certainly speak in the T-side's favor.
No question. Try and give themselves a little bit of room to work with towards the tail end here, but not much to work with there. 9 rounds in total for Party Astronauts as the last kill comes through from Chop. We'll be tossing to a quick break, and once we come back, so that second half.
And we are back in the saddle. Welcome all the mainstream viewers, by the way, whose game finished up in a whopping 50 round series. No, excuse me, 30 round series. My bad. 13 plus 2 times 2, because that Evil Geniuses game was quite the blowout. So welcome here. We got a much closer one in our hands. It's Badass Gaming. They are up a map. They did show some promise in the later ends of that first half. Maybe they can make something happen here with the pistol. Combined drop a goal extra McHenry as we have the monster walkout starting for Badass. But dual Berettas could put a sour end to this map. Or maybe not. A good entry there from Dare to get things started. And it starts getting stifled from there, however. Hone Alone and Ben Lee putting in a lock on the site. But Ben Lee could fall in just a moment's notice to make it equals. And here we go as Consti collects another. It's just Spec in the 1v2. Needs to put together 2 headshots to lock in this retake. He won't get it.
Him. Consti, yeah, he's just going to swing for the fences right there. It even peaked what I felt like was a second, maybe too early, but it all works out in the end there. It's an excellent round to start off this little comeback effort. Badass, so you have to start somewhere. I started off with a pistol here, and I think that's like one of the necessary rounds to make me believe that at the very least they can start to pull things back. Full eco comes through, like you said earlier, maybe not the most fun decisions, but necessary, especially when you come through with this lead. There's just not really a lot to worry about just yet.
Now, again, why don't they just, like, subsidize the CT side? Why don't they get guns every round? Our taxpayer money goes somewhere.
Where's it all going?
Yeah, where is it all going? Talk to those guys on Nuke. They might know a thing or two.
It's going to the big gun manufacturers, that's where. Tell you that much. Those guys are just raking it in on the CT side. With the upcharges.
Should go to our Counter-Strike education here. We gotta win another major. Put it into esports. Maybe that's what happened. They did put it into esports, and now they don't got none, and there's nothing left.
No bread.
No bread. We have a little 5-man walk up here onto the A site. Chop is gonna be our lone man, our lone defender, facing off against 5 8Ks because they spent all our taxpayer money on esports. That's tough. There's gonna walk in, entry in. Oh, that's gonna lock in this round. 9-5. And things going just about as expected. Get your sweet sweeties while you can.
Farm them up. Farm up those sweet ecos. See if Spec can at least find one. Jump peeks in.
Okay.
Can I see him right there? There's no way you can.
And there's no way. I mean,
you gotta have an insane vertical to get vision on that.
I think his spidey senses were tingling there. There's something is amiss. Of course, when there's, armorless pistols about, it's like, they should be swinging me. Or sitting in a corner. One or the others.
True.
So.
Especially when you gotta be vigilant.
And that he was. Now. Badass actually had to face off against a purchase, but again, with the CT side, it's not really a good purchase. It's a purchase you kind of grit your teeth looking at. It's a couple FAMAS, FAMI, with a singular kit. And just scraping together some utility here, just enough for everyone to have smokes, I guess.
We're able to bring tools in. Again, this bathroom's control could be a bit of a concern. You're giving up this sort of space this early.
Oh,
exactly ideal.
Yeah, Spec is in too much trouble. Flashes are good. Execution is good here from Badass Gaming. I think we could see a potential comeback here. The site take does need to be clean. You do have to best Ben Lee, but waiting for support to arrive. He charges out into the open, and the FAMAS is not the weapon for the job. We're going to see a great start off to this half for Badass Gaming. This map is not done yet.
A little bit more convincing. The second half now, being able to bring in some energy into this. So far, it's T-side again, just walking up, establishing their foothold over towards that A side early is going to set themselves up for success. I'm going to be very happy with that. That first gun round.
Riz is dead. Ooh. Oh,
look for the
maybe.
spam.
What? All right, well, Snap's going to get it. I don't want to go through the fence no more. I'll just take the fight myself. And all guns taken away there from Party Astronauts. Yeah, there's going to be some real early financial problems for the CT side. We might see an op come out if it's just a full eco in this one, but the opening 4 rounds are going to go to Badass Gaming, and immediately that deficit does not look as insurmountable.
Yeah, I mean, it so quickly becomes a 3-round game, which is very easy to come back into. Probably going to be even less than that here soon. This eco. So you're able to do some damage. Only going to block him off. Snav going to find the first with ease. Starting things off well.
Yeah, no chance there for Spec. Armorless. Crosshair just goes everywhere once you take a single bullet. And no sense of control here. Could be mission critical here for Party Astronauts in just a couple of rounds. We will be able to see Pwn alone pick up an off in the next one. And I think that's kind of where the game turned around for PA. If you remember that CT side on Mirage, Pwn alone started hammering down players of Badass Gaming 2 rounds in a row. Started getting confident. That needs to happen here. Opponent's about to get backstabbed, though, and that's not really a sign of confidence, unfortunately, as Consti will clean up. And we will see a simple B-side take. Needing the confidence here, Party Astronauts. They were showing it in the first half. They were getting set up right, but this ain't it just yet.
Extra pressure here. Closing in on them soon. Gotta lock it down to this point here. There's not a lot of room left in this one. 2 rounds now to close the distance. Money on this T side stacking up, like you said, though. On the other end of things, we are at least going to see an AWP brought out. So that can be a relief factor here for the side of Party Astronauts. That, you know, control towards that A side. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to take when you have to deal with the opping presence. You can't just dry peek angles anymore. You got to throw the flash. You got to throw that extra utility to take that ground. You have to see that due diligence done.
So let's see it. Right now, some sort of fake utility tossed out towards the A site. Instead, it's all of Badass who are pressing up into short right now. Off angle taken by Chop. It doesn't matter. Snap is just going to delete him on the line. Not a chance to fight in this one. And even a double nade in towards Barrel. Grizzly's just dead to nades. He didn't even get a chance to fire a bullet. Badass Gaming, the momentum is with them right now. Ben Lee needs to do something to turn this site take around. He'll drop the first, but he has to do so much more. He just has to do so much more, but he has 4 players in front of him. The problem is only 13 bullets to do it. Walking into the smoke. Spec also takes an aggressive angle. Maybe there's a chance here for Party Astronauts. The positions are excellent. There's a double from Ben Lee. Him and Spec are going to lock it in. A full house on the site for Party Astronauts. That's exactly what they needed.
Oh, that's such a liftoff right there to that CT side. The complications inside the smoke. So much confusion right there created by the couple of smokes, and that is going to cost him dearly. That is an excellent reply. A little bit of life. That has to be the motivation right there. That has to be the extra edge that this team needs to start locking in some success more consistently.
I thought I was just looking at 5 rounds in a row there, like no sweat, no problem, despite the fact that the opening 2 kills went the way of Badass with basically their opponents not even able to fire a bullet. Grizz knocked out by a double nade molly combo out towards barrels. Nothing you can do about that. Chop deleted. But Bentley found himself such an excellent position between all the smokes. I wonder how many of those smokes were CT smokes and how many were the Ts, because I think there was one smoke inside a short that just gave him extra angles to work with. And of course, the last thing you expect when you actually spotted both players on the site is that, you know, both players are going to be in the site. He's not going to be in short. You got to make risky plays. You got to make some desperation happen to stop the comeback, and that's what Ben Leet does.
Absolutely. Setting in deep pit here, and Badass as to how they close this one out. Now, you probably did need a little bit of that momentum to continue. You can't let that frustration seep in. We'll see if that is a little bit of magic that can help PA take it to a third, or if Badass will continue in their winning ways.
I think Ben Leet does go up into the category of wrapped players in ECL. He likes finding the nifty angles. He's not trying to play straight Counter-Strike with everyone involved. Now there's this double long setup here from Party Astronauts. It's going to activate into a push at any moment.
Just waiting for a little bit of sound cues, waiting for a timing. Whenever they feel comfortable, they might start to aggress, like you said. It's all based on intuition.
Oh, look at this. Hone Alone inching forward right now into Party. Oh, but he gets spotted out by Shane. That was a nice edge right there. If Shane doesn't come through and clear, or Hone Alone is just a second earlier, that's multiple kills down the drain there. But that's instead the swing back is an opening kill for Badass. And it could get worse.
Out Monster right now, trying to disrupt the setup. That's a really well-timed flash right there, but no punishment with the MP9 trying to fight with these angles. They're still flashing. I think the team flash is coming through as well, hurting them, as everyone gonna flood out of Monster right now.
Yeah, it has to do your short side angles, and they can't deal with Grizz. A great flick back from Shane, but the damage has been done. The nade sails in from Spec inside of Connector, and that is Badass Gaming just destroyed on the B side, despite having the opening 4v5. It's one-way traffic for Party Astronauts.
Wow. I mean, excellent recovery. That MP9 does so much work there to save the worries. Able to lock in another one. Party Astronauts now up to 11, getting close to closure. Luckily for the side of Badass, all these struggles aren't going to be the end of the world when you still have money to purchase constantly.
Okay, but, you know, materializes into something, a bit of a wild engagement in towards Monster, but that double swing spots the whole team of Badass Gaming. We'll have to see what the response is here from PA.
Be a big reroute here. They're going to continue to aggress. They're throwing guns away, going back into Ben Leet here.
Wow.
Just gets dismissed by Dare. A little bit of hope there for Ben Leet to find the equalizer, but instead he gets sidelined by Dare's sharp shooting.
Ben Leet trying to be that rat, trying to be that guy playing the unorthodox angles. Trying to get weird with it inside a short pipe, but ever prepared. Okay, but Pone Alone, I mean, he could steal a kill here and get out. Or not. He doesn't even get to hit the shot. That just blows my mind that he didn't even at least get one. Maybe he gets tagged and slowed down, gets ran down, but all right. Badass Gaming about to get back in the driver's seat here as Spec to save and money low for the CTs.
Don't let PA get to that final hurdle just yet. A little bit more jumping to do here for the side of Party Astronauts before they get there, before they get closure. But they can take it into another map. Look, to set some frustration in. There's 8. Back to some of those economic woes. Some of those concerns. This badass gonna largely have themselves probably an eco here into this one, and 9 granted to them with relative ease. They're still gonna have to crack through this hero AK of spec, but outside of that, not the most tools here, and badass can start to continue to convince us.
We'll see. Of course, there's going to be another purchase stuff for Party Astronauts, so it's going to be the next round that is just more telling. I mean, the closer Party Astronauts get to 13, the less the economy matters. It just, all that matters is to push one round over the line. But surprisingly, you know, one round could just be enough breathing space for Badass Gaming to maybe push it overtime if it comes up. Or just a regulation victory, who knows? For now, 3 players inside of long bathrooms, though, could make things very awkward if they feel like it. And even now, the timing could be nasty, or it could just be perfect as 2 pistols walk into 2 crosshairs.
Looks like they're so well prepared for some of the setups that Party Astronauts are throwing at them. We saw that one round where there was some aggression towards long, and they were well prepared for that.
Oof.
Right there, they're prepared for the collapse. USP, not accounted for. There's 2 kills on 2 opposite sides of the maps, and AK retrieved. Complications.
It's Grizz and Spec who have these guns too. It's
Oh
Grizz and Spec who
God.
have these guns as well. You don't want to give them chances. A Badass Gaming just having with 20 seconds left. It's going to be a mad dash onto the site, but oh, Grizz will get deleted by Snav. Kind of had him honed in and limited. No opportunity to make a play, but Spec still standing. Gets his way up towards jump up towards the dumpster. Just going to make a straight walk through the smoke, but is met with 2 players immediately. No chances given there. It got weird. It certainly did. Grizz gave it his best, but it's Badass Gaming, so we're going to close the deficit to 2.
Back to those gun rounds. Pedal's gonna hit the floor here. Pressure gonna be put onto Badass to get that consistency on rolling. They've got themselves good position already here. We got Badass trying to take short control quickly. Frankie swinging for the fences. A
There we
freebie
go.
granted to him, and he wants a second. Not gonna be afforded that though. And they're up monster as well.
Yeah, there's just so much space gained here from the T side. Dare already gets himself in towards this position, and you got Bentley has no idea that could even be a possibility, and Chop gets deleted through the smoke as well. Everything falling apart here for PA.
This is fantastic work here. Party Astronauts recovering, or rather Badass recovering some ground there as soon as they fall out. And they are going to have to save instantly here. You have Frankie
Oh no.
chasing things down. Finds himself one exit, looking for another. Op shot will connect, but that gives over the position. That's the alarm bells.
It's a safari now. It's a big hunt here for Pone alone. They know where his op is. They want to take this away. They should take this away from him. They have some cash to spare. If they can take everything away from Party Astronauts, this could be massive. But Pone alone will hold on. 3K at least to defend that AWP, keep it in his grip. But it's going to be double digits as the deficit just keeps on closing and closing.
Absolutely closing out another one round ball game here. Party Astronauts using a timeout to try and figure out how they stabilize. How they regain some traction. 11 to 10. Badass could close this thing out in 2 when they were down 3-9. And they were down on the CT side of Overpass here. Not what you'd expect this team to struggle.
I mean, Party Astronauts are trying to make plays to get things started, but Phonolone's op just has not been at the scene. And it's been Badass who have been taking all the liberties on the parts of the map that Party Astronauts are low manpower, not defending. Also, these small mistakes, Grizz exposing himself unnecessarily from the short side, gets instantly deleted by Frankie on the edge shorty, and everything falls apart from that point. I mean, that barrel's position is truly the linchpin of the B site. You have to play with that barrel's player. If it falls back in a pit, you play in a pit. Oh, we have a little action, though, coming through from Podolo, finally getting activated. But, I mean, dude, he's on 17 HP and trapped in a corner. There's just no way he escapes, right? But there is. Smoke obscures the vision of Badass Gaming. He will get away on 17 HP and find that opening pick solidified.
That's huge that he is able to stabilize here, finds himself the opening pick, gets out of dodge. Needs to be even more proactive though, and I know that's a lot of weight on one man. A lot of pressure put on this guy, but as he starts off the round, you still have to finish in the 4v5. Have to capitalize here. MP9's in play, could complicate the matter.
Ooh.
And Leap feeling some pressure now.
Yeah. Just a flash tossed in from long. He's going to return back in. Oh, Shane was watching the angle.
Oh,
now,
timing.
no one is watching this angle. Constantly about to walk sideways. No. Insta flicks on 90 degrees right onto Ben Leet. And that opens up this A site. In fact, there's just no defense. Hone alone is off the site, 17 HP, and doesn't get an opportunity to find him. Instead, he burns. It's worse. And now, through the smoke, Dare's got him. This is going to be 11-all. This could be a regulation victory for Badass Gaming. They were down so many rounds. But round by round, it hasn't been like they're abusing one part of the map or the other. It's been something new every single time, and Party Astronauts are truly on the back foot.
I can't figure out a way to finish this one on the CT side. Just constantly getting pressured here. And again, credit to some of the opening. It feels like Badass are just looking to stake their claim on this. I mean, again, regulation victory didn't seem like it was in their reach. I was so genuinely questioning if PA were able to just take all the wind out of their sails by winning that little 2v4 that they got on the B site with all the smoke, confusion, and chaos. They win that round. They win the following. And they have fallen a little bit flat since then.
Yeah, and I should mention, I mean, maybe some people watching don't really know too much about the PA brand, but these guys are veterans of NA Counter-Strike. They've picked up some of the best prospects down here. With the likes of Grizz and Spec, these guys are kind of prospects trying to move up through the ranks and become part of these contender teams in the near future. I mean, I've made jokes, Grizz and Grim on the same team. 2025, you never know. But this could definitely be a surprise result in the season.
They put Badass even further in the rankings, surpassing Party Astronauts. Right now they're neck and neck. Both 3-3 in the season so far. Not exactly what you'd expect these two teams to be. There's a lot of games left for both rosters, but...
Now this is a really interesting setup here from Party Astros. They are not extending whatsoever. They are not going to give Badass a chance for an opening pick. They're going to say, you have to challenge this site. You're going to have to meet Hone alone, and that's an excellent opener. That's something Party Astros haven't seen in many, many rounds, and that could get them to map point and maybe force this third. 20 seconds so to make the decision. And an excellently timed Molly. What do you do in this situation? Have to move around, rove around, maybe towards Monster, get a reposition. Needs this entry. Frankie can't find it. And we're looking at map point here for Party Astronauts to end this win streak at maybe just 8 seconds now. This is just a straight save here from Badass Gaming. We're going to go to the final round of regulation with Party Astronauts, a chance for a third.
All the rounds here. Party Astronauts. Let Badass creep up to the edge as well, and then rip it right from underneath him. So if they do want to close this out in 2, it's going to have to be in that overtime. 24th round playing things out. It's going to be still a very effective purchase. All the tools here still wielded by Badass. Everything you could ask for, given the fact that they won so many rounds in a row so consistently. They're going to run right past the Molotovs here, right past any utility towards that A side. Last round, it felt like they were taking control way too late. This time around, I think they're looking to nullify that worry.
Yeah, because they're recognizing the passive setup here from Party Astronauts. If they take too long with their control, then that's where the passive setup can thrive. That's where, you know, okay, we're basically equal on utility standards here. And you can see the pressure is actually going to force some re-aggression from Party Astronauts. This is a massive chance for Badass to drag it to OT if they continue pushing forward, but instead it's just a double setup that's being held. Pone alone watching connector. His teammates are hearing these footsteps outside Monster. It's going to siphon out some utility here, but couldn't convert any of the kills, perhaps. Frankie about to walk around the corner, though, into Chop, and that's the opening kill for Party Astronauts. We're looking at a third map all the way as 4 players tumble out of Monster right into a perfect setup. It's the first time we've seen it this entire half from Party Astronauts, and it's going to end the game. We're going to Ancient.
There's a huge wake-up call right there coming through from Party Astronauts. It was probably the feeling of tying things up, but they finally figure out ways to lock things down. They finally force these players to slow things down to stop those opening picks. I mean, you said it just 2 rounds ago when Polo was able to find the first kill. It's been a rare sight to see them open up proceedings, and with that, they were able to finish the job and take us into that third. It was a labored effort, though, right? Because that 3-9 half, it was very, very deadly from PA. It ends up going all the rounds. We'll go to all the maps here. We're going to be tossing it to a third here after this short break, so make sure you stay tuned.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
And now we meet on Ancient. Overpass was just a nail biter. We had a little fake comeback going. We had Badass Gaming drag it to 11 all, but they could not seal the deal. I'm fine, joined by Cole X and McHenry. We have to move to a third map here, and maybe this is where Party Astronauts can find a bit of a better groove and start locking down these series that we think they should have on paper. The edge out middle. Let's see it. Party Astronauts charging down. Met with a full setup, and Badass Gaming just could not hit a headshot. 2 versus 5.
Blasted. Frankie, though, going to strike back there for a nice kill.
Hold on,
the
bomb.
a little bit of life.
And walking up here, Snav with a chance, but the problem, he's armorless. He doesn't really want to take these fights. He can't take the extended fight, that is. The body shots will get the better of him, but Frankie's putting in work. I mean, he's basically dealing with the entire team. He's basically 1v5. And there's another gush. Down to 70 hits. 70 HP, rather. Dealt to Ben Lee. And look at this.
He could go B.
Oh,
the cheeky B play.
But hold on. They can hear these footsteps. And actually, all of a sudden, Badass Gaming, the hesitation kind of traps them in and locks them in. Frankie, though, still has an opportunity for more. And he gets it. There's a third kill from Frankie. Pone alone is going to tuck in. Back of the site. Snap. Certainly not ready for it. Excellent positioning from Pone alone to try and stop this rampage. And now Frankie needs an ace clutch to do it, but he has isolated fights. He has a low HP Ben Lee, courtesy of, well, himself, but Pone alone will dispatch of the threat. What an effort from Frankie, but it is Party Astronaut's pistol.
Nice attempt right there. You got to give him so much credit for pulling that one back into a winnable position, but they don't get the bomb plant even, which is a little bit unfortunate, considering the position that they put themselves in. We'll end up letting that one slip. We got the fast mid-smoke ready from Pone alone. Nice little jump throw. We'll throw that deep in towards middle, follow it up with a bit of a shallow molly. Mid-control can be established with a little less resources nowadays, which is always nice for the CT side.
Having giant smokes is like a blessing and a curse. Yeah, there have been some good things in CS2, and I think the most well-received thing has been smoke physics. It's just good. And they've also slowly, they've also slowly gotten to work patching up Peeker's advantage as well. At least I've read it in the patch notes. I'm not 100% sure it's actually made any wild sweeping changes.
Yeah, I mean, slow but steady. Things are getting a little bit more stable. I mean, good news is we really haven't had a lot of massive lands just yet. Only one so far, so. I think there's one tonight, actually.
There is.
So we'll be back at it. We can see if there's any big changes. I'm super excited.
Uh-oh. Now, this is a massive problem. This is a backstab, a bomb plant, and once again, Badass Gaming are making these rounds complicated. Frankie is the man at the helm yet again. But unable to lock it down with the Deagle, and the rest falls on a Snap. He's going to have to do something magical, and he won't. But still, just making these rounds complicated. There's a bomb plant in. For the side of Frankie. Now, those matches tonight, Cole... No, it's pretty interesting. Have you seen... Well, okay. Okay, what took over the internet today? Have you seen the Astralis pictures?
Yes. I have.
I literally thought it was AI-generated art when that showed up on my timeline. I'm like, haha, this is hilarious. Until I saw Device looking absolutely fly. I don't know. I'm not sure if that, like, image was hype or...
We'll see if they win.
We'll see if they win. I don't know. We'll see. Flying out aim 8. I mean, no respect. No respect. Running into the site. Zero smoke, zero flashes. We're going to get it all in later once we get that opening kill. It's just completely a bulldozer here from Badass Gaming. They're there to run down the entire site. Nade finishes the kill as well, and I mean there's a tone being set by that kind of play on the first gun round.
Yeah, the bulldozer versus the boulder. And technology wins, baby. Did Chopper walk in there to get something? And dip out? You like walked inside the smoke, he just dips very quickly.
Like
I don't think
swaps
he's
a
interested.
gun.
Yeah, getting something active right there. Might catch himself in a bit of an awkward position. There's that information spotted. They can't really hunt too far near that bomb though. And he will be able to get his kill, get out of dodge safely.
Yeah, so he bounces out of there, but it's Badass Gaming who just set the tone right there. It turns out it's not just into your pugs. You can just all gas, no brakes into that A site, and it could just be a straight up read. Like you could watch a demo and say, okay, first gun round, he likes the one site anchor likes to tuck behind on the actual site box. So we can't get punished by someone up close. So let's just go full steam ahead off of what we've seen. And it works out. And they're just gonna do it again! This is unbelievable!
What isn't broke should not fix, and not switching anything up here. Like you said, this does assert a little bit of a tone in this one. And it's certainly gonna set a little bit of conditioning here for the side of PA. At the start of this half, back-to-back rounds where you just say, I'm gonna take this site and I'm gonna take it without any resistance. It's both a wake-up call here for Party Astronauts that they need to start batting down the hatches in the side of the map, and I tell that, you know, A is going to be needs to be a little bit more resources invested into it, it feels like.
We're gonna see Party Astronauts back away, but maybe it will. Or, you know, it's just starting to get into the psychology element of it. Like, are they just gonna do this over and over again? I mean, I don't know. I'm not even sure as a CT side, like, how you react to that. You have to try and start a retake, but that just never feels good. I think it's all about that bomb plant denial if those kind of rounds do come through where you're kind of out of position, can't defend the site itself, but you can stop the objective. Someone does have to pull out a bomb that doesn't shoot anything and press E for 4 seconds on a site. So we'll see how Party Astronauts do deal with that. They start this round with 2A. And Badass Gamer kind of run a more stock standard round where we're taking cave control.
Gonna take themselves in some deeper angles here to establish a foothold. Out of the gates, we got the Deagle, the fancy moves here for Kenny laying the fancy shots. HE, lucky bounce there for Chris, doesn't take any damage to it, not too much damage rather.
Okay.
Chop swings off the contact. We do have a nice entry, takes a lot of damage for it, but there's Grizz with the rifle retrieved, and not the end of the world.
However, starting to close the distance. Smokes have been deployed, but good smoke spam. Shane goes down ultra low. No HE to punish, however. And so precariously, that bomb will get planted, but it still is a man advantage for Party Astronauts. Can they leverage that? Will they fly through a smoke and try to play the trade game? 3 players grouping up towards long. Swinging wide. There's the trades. They're coming through, and now the multi-kills as well. It's a 2v4 as the M4A1s are putting in work. Last man standing is Snap, but he gets 2. And Pwn alone crosses to the site without a kick. Keep in mind, they have to defuse now. There's no time. There is no time. Or is there? Ben Leet picks up a kit, but no. He won't go for it.
Ooh.
Was there a chance? We can't get hung up on those kind of things. Badass will get the round, but maybe there was just a chance there for Ben Leet.
It might have been. I'm with you. You can't, deal too much with what ifs. It definitely felt like some world of opportunity. Instead, it's going to be a lost round there That's just scraping by. What a clutch from Snav in the 1v4. Finds
Yeah.
the big multi. Enough to buy enough time. Clock in that one and give him new life here. Got some fast cave smokes going in.
Oh
both
my.
sides.
Okay. And we're going
They're up
again.
a ramp?
Hi there. Badass Gaming do not do this defaulting thing we talk about. We don't spread across the map. We don't work that map control. We just want sights, and they get them. And nade stack into cave, deep CT smoke to back it up, and the re-smoke. Just keep locking this defense out of there. I mean, you can see it's desperation. We're going to blast through the smoke and try and make a play, but look at this. Snap, Frankie, open up and erase the retake. And this is going to be 4-2 and more convincing fashion here from Badass Gaming.
Absolutely dismantled right there. This is a statement here on this team's side. Running it down at Party Astronauts. Large part of their overpass success there on that T side was that quick aggression. Rolling on into the action early. Establishing their foothold there. Finding those opening picks. And they're going to keep that same energy. As soon as they get guns in hand, man, they do not let off the gas.
I mean, this is a ferocious T-side playstyle that we're seeing right now from Badass. It just doesn't feel right, but it's working. And it's working just so convincingly. Grizz doesn't have a chance here. But, I mean, needed to hit the headshot. Couldn't punish Dare for walking up solo. What other chances are there for Party Astronauts to get back into this round? I suppose this bottom B ramp push, but could keep him at arm's length here, Dare, with the AK. And there's only one option, really, for these pistols. They gotta go for frags. They gotta take these fights. Bentley trying to do that, and he does get it. I mean, hey, headshot, 5-7, picks up an AK. Chop has the remaining two players running right towards him. I mean, there's a serious opportunity. There is a serious chance, but backstab there with Ben Leach. Chop, is he going to miss his opportunity is the question. He has to get this kill clean, and Consti just turns around, and it's kind of a moment where you're just like, well, I tried. 5-2 right now for Badass.
A lot of good options there. Timeout going to be called here on PA to start to figure out a way to stabilize right now. I think step one is just understanding how they shut down this fast aggression here. I mean, I feel like so many discussions around this map happen between resource management and how you're going to throw that utility down early, right? Where are you going to prioritize the manpower? And we've seen already out of the gates that you know, multiple players towards A has been early conditioned. We've seen the fast B plays come in these next gun runs. They are just spiraling these rounds one after another when it comes to the calls here, and it's probably very difficult to read if you're on the side of PA. You know, you never know what they're gonna throw at you next.
I was talking about there's a psychological element of just like, when you run out of your opponents, like, are they just gonna keep doing this? Like, at some point it has to stop, but when? It's just gonna be such an abrupt pace change for Party Astronauts to adapt to, and I think this is the kind of round where we might just get a little bit of it, or maybe not. We're just hitting the gas. Phone alone gets a tag, but no kill. It doesn't slow down the actual play, but Chop has blinded T's in front of him. Eventually he'll get traded. Pone alone, last defender here on this site, and now the molly forces him in for the fight. And no flashes remaining, but he lets go of the line. He'll be saved by Ben Lead, however. An excellent play to run through and save his squad. Party Astronauts will finally put up a wall.
And Lee had to rise to the occasion right there, man. Needed that success out of him. And able to deliver. Just barely closing that one out, but Again, finishing the job there. Relief for now for PA. Off the back of that timeout, they're able to succeed. That has to feel like some comfort be established now. Can they find even more out of the gate? So towards the middle, the answer is no, as the early pick goes their way. A lot of utility damage done. Try and level the playing field. And there's an equalizer from Grizz. That's big.
Big to find. What hasn't been found is Ponalone's AWP. Badass are trying to find it out, but they haven't tested enough of the map just yet, and they're running out of flashbangs to try and contest that AWP. Late round situations, I think Ponalone might be able to dominate here if it gets to that point. That's a great barrel spot there. Ponalone rings out. Chop as well. And that is an excellent mid-round here from Party Astronauts. It's just a 2v4 that remains here for Badass. Just give it a whirl into the B-side, I guess. Yeah, and with that opportunity gone, not sure what else to say.
Shane's got to find something here, but I think they calling it. They throw a molly in. Not too much interest in moving forward. That will be calling it quits here. Hiding in spawn. It's going to be another one for PA. Finding themselves onto 4. Off the back of this timeout, now winning multiple rounds has to feel like such a relief. Whatever it was adjusted onto, working out well. Good proactivity coming through from them.
You know, it's just been on my mind all day, but that Astralis picture does kind of go hard. I will not lie. I could see that image being used just out of context in like tweet replies. I don't know. It's such a memeable image. It is just like it's such a non sequitur. Like it just doesn't. It shouldn't exist in this universe, but it does.
It's the world we're living in.
You got Borup playing the tunes. You got scholarly Buzz. And Blame F kind of just doing whatever. This is why pros love Media Day.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that was one of their favorites. Shoots there, but oh, dare. Is going to just take care of Grizz. Grizz was just trying to spot. He's just trying to get a little bit of information there. Instead, he gets a wake-up call.
Yeah, gets bopped. Fortunate that spec isn't going down to that AWP either. But Chop up to no good on the edge of the smoke. Consi, flash high. Peek anticipated. Doesn't matter. Consi hits the shot. Fast on the draw. And Spec last defender with 28 HP. Yep. Best of luck, buddy. This is going to be tough. And he can't do it. This is going to be a walk-in here for Badass. Nades out as well for Ben Leap. Ponalone to save Badass Gaming to get the plant. 2-round lead despite losing the pistol. And they might take away this op from Ponalone. Frankie already on the scene. Ponalone will nail the shot, but that is just the dinner bell ringing for the rest of the tees. 4 more to find. Ponalone. And he will nail it. Like, he's hitting shots. But this round is Badass's. Just one more bullet here for Ponalone. One more assailant, but he misses. And pistol won't do. He's out of ammo. He's out of HP. No AWP either. 6-4.
Is this another timeout called out on the side of PA immediately in the very next breath? I think this one actually might be a tech. I see the one disconnected. So actually, not as aggressive on the timeout calling. Although what I loved so much is that when PA did call that timeout, they started winning rounds after. We're right back to Badass winning more rounds, getting very aggressive, landing some nice shots. I mean, Dare right there, who's been playing just nasty on the rifle. We question out of the gates the decisions of the AWP presence kind of being aloof there and constantly taking over. But nothing but impressed with the rifling out of this man.
Yeah.
Transitioning roles and looking comfortable.
I mean, Consti stylistically is just more passive than Dare was. He's not necessarily the opening kill machine that Dare's doing. We're looking just for like mid-round picks, like small little setups. Dare was just on carry mode for this team, but he's doing it with rifles. And you're seeing the fashion that he's doing it in as well. It is nothing short of just impressive. Shots that he's landing.
Yeah, no question. Russian with the AK in hand here has been delivering so much ground for side of Badass, but they're gonna call another timeout here. This time on the side of Badass. They're looking to keep things rolling, keep that success going.
Icing both teams out, I suppose. Like, again, I think just the rush. It is so wild that it just kind of wields the psychological sword for badasses. Will you keep doing it? Will you not? You know, it's so easy to create an abrupt pace change when you just call these non-stop fast rounds. Now we're flying out middle. This is the move here for Badass, but it doesn't work out. There's a setup in place for Party Astronauts. PA will walk away with an advantage, but that can dissipate quickly. Look, two backs turn. Snav, is he going to walk through? It is being launched here by Chop, but both players are not prepared. It's a spray down for Snav, 2 headshots, and the bomb is just going to waltz into the A site. He's thinking twice about it. Party Astronauts still have a chance here. Especially as they could cut off Snav from the B site, and they will. Bomb dropped on the floor. And chances given. Smoke deployed. Flashbang maybe next.
Just 1 HE. Could land him all the kills necessary. Grizz is down low. The bomb is recovered. They're gonna burn it in towards that A side of the map here. Flank comes through a little bit too late there for the likes of Grizz, but Cone alone is just on time.
Oh,
runs
he got
through the
spotted.
smoke. He's lost in the sauce.
Oh my
what a team
goodness!
kill.
Oh, that's
Not what
horrible.
they meant.
That's horrible. Grizz is going to start the flank from Donut as well. There's no room to maneuver here for Consti. I mean, he's going to play inside the smoke, and Ponalone knows. Ponalone knows, but he's running out of ammo. Consti was thinking about walking through, but now he's getting flanked as well by Grizz, who will hit him in the back of the head. And somehow, Party Astronauts come back from that spray down from Snav.
Unbelievable. What a relief right there. Going to lock that one in. Despite a lot of those odds not favoring them. It will be Badass. Letting that one slip. A little bit frustrating there. Get an awkward team kill in the mix. Not exactly ideal, but shake that one off here. Looking for one more. The mid setup works out so well for PA. That adjustment that I had mentioned here, the constant mental warfare that these rosters are playing against each other here. Party Astronauts starting to get a good read on the situation.
Unfortunately, this final round, Party Astronauts never got to experience Badass when they're completely out of the tank. And yeah, knife out shows how prepared Grizz was for that fight. And oh boy, it's just back to the same old, same old. Headshots everywhere here for Badass across the map. Caught off guard here. Party Astronauts. I mean, Spec is just right. Yeah, I mean, hide in that corner and until death comes a knocking. And there's Snav. 2v5. Ponalone probably just toss his hat in the ring and hope he will be garnered with one. There's another, but we have a player in CT spawn. surely this is the end of the road, right? There's one freebie for Frankie, and there's another with the first bullet out the gun. 7-5 half here for Badass Gaming. They leverage psychology versus Party Astronauts. They're up by 2. And we're climbing back aboard. 7-5 here for Badass Gaming as they just run it. They just absolutely ran it down. We said rush A, rush B, rush A, rush B. Rush mid a couple times. It didn't work. And they have just a 2-round lead, even after losing the pistol and the conversion. I'm fine dropping Cole extra McHenry. We'll see if Party Astronauts can dig themselves out of the hole. They're tossing in a big-time B play at the moment. And it's Dare who's going to mow down 2. Snap, unable to find anything. However, and Tracy go back and forth to make it a 3v3.
I'm just trying to pepper in some spam here through the smoke. No connections just yet here. Waiting out those smokes for the retake. Getting ready to kick it into gear. They got to find the kills quickly, though.
We'll see a smoke go down into cave. We have Pona Malone back at the site. Takes first contact and he hands out a headshot as his first point of call. Multiple kills falling the way of Party Astronauts. Looking for both pistols here, but without a kit here, Shane just simply does not have time for this. Or the head. Dooley's doing work for both teams, I guess. Party Astronauts, both pistols.
Just gotta help out big time here. And their effort to lock this one in. Closing out on both pistols. Going to build them up a foundation to quickly tie this scoreline on up. We know the history. We know that neither one of these teams has taken some big risks when these purchases have come through. So As you can see, that will remain true.
Ooh, okay. You know what hasn't disappointed me in CS2? Nade damage. And Ethan, I guess. Surprise! It's just absolutely terrifying. Absolutely. There does hammer a nice deagle shot in, but I think that's about all that should be said in this one. I say that as it got a little bit weird with that spray, but nade, we haven't had like those moments where the nade's like, oh my gosh, it's gonna deal so much damage, and it's like 30. Nah, nades in CS2 absolutely hit.
Did you shred? It's good to see.
Pretty sure they buffed it, or like I think I've talked to you about this, but they don't really like, they didn't buff the damage, but they did buff the overall range. That the nades deal damage or something like that. Like, I don't know. I'm just theorizing and making things up.
Just cooking.
I'm just saying whatever. I'm
I
here.
respect that,
I'm the
honestly,
I'm the commentator. I say whatever.
You gotta take your word for it.
Yeah, I have some form of authority. Probably because I watch a lot of Counter-Strike, but we'll see. Constate walking forward, gets wrecked by the MAC-10 of Spec, and Frankie's also low. This positioning from Spec could actually mean the round here. They're just gonna walk out, back turn to A main, and this whole round goes awry. Unless Frankie could do something on such a little HP, he's gonna drop a smoke and try and pray, but the nades heat-seeking. Shane, though, is already on the chase. Could save this one, as Chop prays to get the plant, and he does. He moves out behind the smoke, though, and he won't escape snap. Badass Gaming pick up the first gun round.
See, done. Absolutely massive to close out the first gun round. A little bit awkward there towards the tail end. Chop going to be very happy that he's able to lock that bomb planned in for an extra $800. That's big money moves, but other side of things here, I was gonna say, you know, do you want to keep the pressure on? I think the answer is yes. The money is very low. You win this, you're gonna establish even more ground here. Could find yourself 2 for the price of 1 in terms of rounds. And so the pressure will be applied. They'll continue to roll on up. We got a Tech 9 for Ponalona, Galil for Ben Leet. Some of those younger players there. Chop, Grizz, and Spec all wielding the AK.
Be a huge turning point of a round. Dare almost, I mean, it could have been a lineup there. Grizz is fortunate to be alive in the first place. It's gonna be Snav who will take that liberty away. Wallbang headshot. Try that for yourself in your pugs.
That's a statement right there. I like this little double up. They got themselves a boost on top of this off angle. Can be a little bit committed, but as long as they keep on recycling that smoke towards cave entrance there, they should be good. They have one more smoke in Consti's hand over towards that B side of the map. Actually, he's towards A as well. So now they have to tuck in towards cave. There's a 1-for-1. Can't afford to go down if you're Snap. He wins that crucial kill. Absolutely necessary. That's going to set him up in the 4v2.
Yeah, Dare just needs to do cleanup here. Gets so much damage locked in as well. Like that damage just reduces the chance of this clutch. Plummets it. The kill also adds to that. And Ben Leet now in a 1v4. But now I dare say that, Cole. You had a gap to run through cave to middle for just a moment. But that is quickly dissipated. He now has to fight his way out of this one, and he won't. Snap. Excellent round. 4 kills for him, holding down cave, and the entire B site with it.
And leading the charge here, he's got 18 kills to 10 deaths. He's playing one hell of a game so far to try and put them across the line. Fantastic effort. I mean, that double up, that huge risk. You need to go 2 for 1 there, at a minimum. in that position. You have to land the trades. You have to win out on those duels. And when Snav finds that second kill and pushes forward, stays alive for later frags in the round. So much work being put in. Full Glock eco. 2 flashes to facilitate this mid aggression.
Yeah, they're gonna creep out there on the line. 1. Too many targets on his screen, but a 2 for 1 should just be enough for Frankie. Oh, well, when he commits to the angle like that, it gets a bit risky. Nade down, though, will soften up his target. There's another 2 for 1. Chop. Okay, he puts in work. He gets a double with the scooped up A1. But 10 rounds to 7.
It's a lot of economic damage right there. Definitely be happy about that towards the tail end. That's 5 Glocks and I believe 2 flashes invested into that round. And then they walk away with 3 kills. Don't get the bomb plant, not quite, but hey. Not the end of the world. Fantastic attempt there. Although, you're looking at this. Badass Gaming, while they lose a lot of money, they are gaining rounds here. They're gaining traction. Dare's going to gain an opener as well. Mid control taken away from them in the early stages. That's Specs sent into the Wolves there and sent out early.
Yeah, I mean, 6 and 17 just has not had a chance to frag. We've seen his potential, but not materializing. Grizz, though, is taking in. Double entry with the Galil, but a full wallbang kill comes through from Snap. He's still alive, still really locking down these sites. And with that bomb not yet planted, there's still a chance here for Badass to come back into this round. The timer has not been set on it just yet, but the kills might. Consti goes down to 6. Snap desperately looking for wallbang shots. He hears the footsteps. He gets another! This guy has infrared vision right now.
And Grizz doesn't want to plant. He's got 20 HP. He's chewing through the others. Finally some relief, but that smoke has since faded. Grizz and Pwn alone trying to work in tandem right now. Snav not making a move out just yet. It might be more on Pwn as he takes this long range angle. He's going to take all of CT spawn control.
And a smoke. It's just absolutely devastating. Leaping through Snap. He does convert the kill. I mean, it's a chance for Konzi. It is just a chance, though. The AWP is going to be able to creep out. He does get the angle. He does get access to the bomb. Here we go. Defuse starting up. And Pwn. Oh, there was just that moment. It was just that moment. A tag landed as well, but he won't escape. Efforts given there by Konsti. Chances given by Pwn. And it's Party Astronauts who will just squeak away with an 8th.
Well, they just need that round right there, right? That's what they need. Break the economy of Badass. Shatter it, in fact, and even though everyone in the server will fall, it's going to be Badass move forward with a force buy, in fact, finally making some risky economic decisions. Shane, I'd like to see him turn around and go and purchase. You do see him actually walk back, and it doesn't go as deep as the others in this investment. They're in that double eco territory, and I guess Shane probably wants to just keep the economy nice and healthy, maybe prioritize an op, which, if that's the case, really respect that effort.
Frank gotta be the sight holder, and oh my goodness, he just first bullet out this Deagle is a headshot onto Grizz. The entry frag is down, and the pressure's on. The pressure's on. How are you gonna get this planted? Pistols surrounding the site. That at least is secured. I mean, that is a bit of a breath of fresh air here for Party Astronauts. They have the positioning to hold down this bomb. Can they hold off the players?
She's all going to rotate in through CT, though, flooding into the action. Finally, a trade comes through, but is it too late? As they have themselves now only a one-man advantage.
Chop, flanking, starting this one up. He could be the linchpin here. He's just playing with his teammates right now, but the Galil at long range is not the weapon for the job. Unfortunately, Frankie can't get anything done either. So just barely defending against the force buy in this game gets ever closer.
It's got to be all tied up here. We're going to see 10 all. Almost no question about it. Comeback effort, the fight in return. Rolling on out here. We've got full USP eco. Again, Shane gonna save some extra cash. PA gonna have themselves a chance to coast here. To a 10th. Right-10 gonna go in first, lead the pack. Flashbang here, stack him up. I like that little extra due diligence right there, and it's gonna work out wonderfully.
That looks just clinical there from Ben Leet. 1 and a 2, $1,200, and this full eco round is gonna go down as one to be forgotten. So we're looking to go 10 all again. All of our games, all the maps in this series have had both teams at double digits. Each game exceptionally close. And that won't change here. Frankie gonna give it his best. I mean, heating up towards these last couple is exactly what you need for this all-important gun round. Whoever takes the lead at this stage of the game could just have a huge advantage on their front. That puts them 2 away from series. It just puts on the pressure. PA handle it. This is an adjustment. This is a change. Constancy's gonna get posted up with the op. Oh, in the shadow, Bentley's gonna crouch underneath the light so he doesn't show his shadow. Write that one down, kids.
Sneaky. Get in the face. I mean, dude, this off from Consti has armor, but it is glass cannon. If that MAC-10 jumps around that corner, he will likely be walking away very sour in that occasion. Is able to adjust his scope over towards Donut, but he's smoked off right now. They're gonna phase the smoke.
This is a horrible position for the op. You're faced off against 2 opponents. He'll be patient on his first shot though, but can't prepare himself for the second as Spec deletes 2. He breaks the silence. Man, it was 8 and 19 and absolutely disassembles the A site. But this round is not over. It's a 3 versus 3. And again, another challenge here on Asian. We got to get that bomb planted somehow. And they're going to try and deny an excellent flashbang forward, but somehow no kills as a result. Snap has to clutch it up. And the 1v2 charges for it and gets dismissed by Spec, who hands a 4K. Party Astronauts establish the lead.
Wow, what a time to come alive here for Spec. Lighting up the server there. Those entries were so sick too. Back of Donut will find the trade. Finds one more on the inbound on that A side. Like you said, that op positioning, it might have been good if it was able to be in tandem with the rifle, but once they kind of isolate themselves, it becomes an easy trade potential. What a round to win here. We're talking about breaking a tie and giving PA a chance to close the series out right now.
And okay, Frankie's gonna absolutely, he's hitting Deagle headshot. But Snav couldn't convert on the MP9. Back turn, dared, no chance against Chop. Party Astronauts are gonna hit series point first, and Badass are gonna have to play from behind. Gonna need to win the next 2 in a row to keep it alive. We were looking at a massive upset. We were seeing so much out of these players, but unable to tie it together towards the end. Will that be what we're saying after this one? So we are off.
It's been a tough road here for Badass, especially if it ends here.
Shadow.
Well, there's a shadow. You can see it steadies the crosshair for Const. It gives him a little bit of a wake-up call. You saw the shift in the shakes as he sees that there's someone right around that corner.
Look what it does. It draws 3 players into the A site. The entire rest of the map is so brittle. It is helped out by the fact that Consti does take down Bentley, who was trying to sell the fake. And now maybe it dawns on Badass. We need to be in position. We're already up B ramp. A quick trade, 1-for-1. Gets them in. But Frankie's putting in work in middle. A play has to be made, and it is Chop trying to get in on the smoke. Pone alone, put in the plant, but gonna let this one get established. Pone alone, and this op has to work. Him and Chop together, but Chop now down. Badass are looking to get an extend lease of life, as Consti will nail in the shot, and we're going all 30, well, all 30, all 24 in regulation. Gets me every time.
You no longer can say the dirty
I no
30
longer
rounds.
can say that. It's so ingrained in my mind after years of commentary. But here we go.
You just say all the rounds, all the
Yeah,
maps.
all 24. Like, that's...
Yeah.
Ew. That's like 4 or 5 syllables. What the heck?
You know what's better than 24?
30. I don't know.
25.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not sure if that's... I mean, you're right. It's a bigger number. 24 is greater than 25. Or... Did I actually just say that? You know what? Let's ignore that. Final round of regulation going down here.
Here we go. Big impact right now needs to be found and Snap. And he has been putting in one hell of an effort. He's going to start it off with an opening. He's close to another. Chop has to dance between these bullets. It's 27 kills for this man. And to take this away without an overtime, it would be robbery for a player who's worked so hard to get to this point.
See a little mid exec from Party Astronauts. You can see Dare feeling the pressure, feeling the heat inside the cubby, trying to hold on to these advantages, trying to get any sort of value. A Snap also takes a beating through the smoke, and maybe this round swings back in the favor of Party Astronauts, as we're sitting 4v4 an HP advantage with the T side.
Would have pulled that one to their favor. How did so quickly turn around? That mid HE right there gives them vision on the player in the cubby tucked on in. B is very weak right now. It's just going to be reinforced with constant, but it's just going to be reinforced a little late on the scene here.
Snav, hold on, is developing on the flank. The plant's going to go through here for Bentley, but Chop is just none the wiser right now. He's dead. 3v4 to fight for OT or a series win. Let's see it here from Party Astronauts. Spec.
Oh, he did it again.
Oh my goodness, Snap just keeps wallbanging people from outside a cave. But the backstab here from Spec. First kill's good. Follows up with his teammates here. It's Grizz now in the 1v2. Consti might have him locked in though and running out of ammunition. It doesn't matter. He hammers the headshot. Frankie on 1 point of health versus Grizz here. But Frankie's gonna convert it.
God.
1 HP clutch for overtime. We're going extra rounds.
Oh my god, dude, no way. Frankie just pulls it across the line. The op doesn't connect. And I thought that was it. Frankie on 1 HP. But he catches him trying to panic to take that kill to try and stop the diffuser, and extra innings. Oh my god, what a finish.
And there's no time to even relax. We're right into it. 12.5k OT. First to 30 now. See, Cole, it was a bit of foreshadowing, may I say.
Wow.
As we're
All
climbing
30.
aboard.
Could still come through. We just need that 14-14 scoreline. Look at this early damage coming through. Frankie gonna capitalize off of it. Finished off strong. Gotta start it off early, but he's equalized. He's traded so quick. Snap all he has to do is click mouse 1. He doesn't need to see his opposition.
Dude.
He is just plucking them apart. Everything's working for this man.
I mean, he's had like 6, 7.
It has to be 6 or 7 wall bangs.
Yeah, it is absolutely mind-boggling. But it might not save this round just yet. They cross over to the site. Ben Leet walking in late though, and Snap is so prepared. Doesn't matter. He gets destroyed by Ben Leet. It doesn't matter as well. This Shane answers one back. 2 versus 3. Pone alone. Needs to get himself some space to reposition. The op does not feel great on this angle. But, well, he's going to have to work with it no matter what. Ben Leet also gets himself into position, trying to lock down this site. Smoke providing cover. Pone alone. Can he nail any more shots together? It's not looking good as Ben Lee now 10 HP. Dare's gonna get it in. First round of OT to Badass.
Okay, I know we're getting a little bit wild here with the game plan. So there was a Molotov in play. I could have been tossed on the bomb right there. Probably would have meant everyone was dying, but it could have bought enough time. Those post plants are just so incredibly uncomfortable. And that is going to be Badass grabbing the first round here in overtime, giving themselves the edge early. What's so good right there is that Snav again finding that impact. These post plants, these clutches continue to go their way. Somehow they're managing to pull it across the finish line consistently without fail.
And it's just been Snav, like the amount of work that he's been doing. Gets another wallbang kill that round, and sure, Bentley had to hit an insane shot, or else that would have just been one-way traffic for the CT side. I mean, what I'm kind of noticing is there's just a little bit of jitters here from individuals on Party Astronauts. I mean, Pone alone, sure, he's 22 and 13, but in those situations, you got to be systematic with the shots. Everything's got to connect.
Yeah, I mean, it's been all day in these clutch situations that I wouldn't say is like super easy to win, but for Pone alone, I feel
Obviously.
like he's so incredible in those positions, especially like in Go. We remember so many Pone alone clutches where he has to dance between these tight angles, land these flashy flicks. That's where his teammates kind of like him in those sort of positions where he can just deliver in those late rounds, win a post plant, to close out a post plant. And there's been multiple times in this best of 3 where he's been in that position. It's a classic turning point round, and he's just missed a couple key ones.
You know, he's in the dream position as an offer. That's exactly where you want to be. That's like where highlights are made. You start getting in the zone a little bit, but you know, obviously it's only been a month with a new game after opping for the last 7 years. Let's see what Party Astronauts have in store, because he might get another one of these post plants. However, it is Pone alone with the bomb, so that's going to take a while to get into the site. Positions maybe get a little claustrophobic. It's a bit crowded now on the B site. Badass Gaming are sure as hell going to give this one a go.
5v5 post plant. Oh, clear. Frankie just swings for the fences right there. Spec heard all of that. Didn't matter at all. Snap gonna hard clear Grizz as well. Somehow this is falling apart in the post plant here. Completely falling apart. As Consti and Frankie both drop. It's just Shop here to try and blow the smoke open. Bomb already being defused. Dare has coverage. And Badass make that look way too easy.
Wow. That just... There was no contest on the site. Badass, the smokes fade, and everyone just gets erased. I mean, Snav somehow wins his duel. Frankie casually checks the flank, and if I was Spec, I'd just be like, okay, dude. Yeah, do that again. Like, I would just be frustrated here if I'm Party Astronauts, the way these rounds are going. There's just no contest in these last 4 rounds. From regulation into OT, Badass have not missed a beat.
Going incredibly well. I thought that 5v5 retake was an ambitious strategy. It turns out working wonderfully for him. Look at this mid-execute spotted by Dare. Blowing open that smoke, though. He just dove into the open arms of Grizz and Spec right there. It's a free pick to answer. Find an opening. They needed. A 5v5 post plant wasn't enough, so find yourself an opening pick here. You'll find yourself into that B bomb site. You'll get yourself a 4v5 post plant.
This one's looking a lot less likely, as Badass are pretty out of position. Only now are they beginning to clear middle. And this should at least shuffle a rotate over. Like, Consi will get into position. Now, actually, some questions start to get raised. Yes, there are still smokes. I thought maybe we're missing a smoke on this execute. Maybe things get weird. Maybe we are. Nade to the smoke. Can Consi get anything done with it? No. Party Astronauts should have a safe cross.
Again, they're one up their result in the last round. We'll see if it's enough here. This time, they got full belt of utility on Frankie being dispensed now.
Where's the Molly gonna go is the question. Nade, back of sight, Molly, smoke as well, going in towards Cave. I mean, it's good. It's a good util set. There's multiple kills going the way of Badass Gaming. Not again, surely not. That is exactly what it is, because Shot will find a double from Cave to lock it in. So at least one for Party Astronauts. We're heading to the side swap. Badass Gaming still in the hunt for the series win. They need 2.
It's a huge lease on life there for PA. Gives them a chance to at least close things out. Their CT side was a little bit struggling, though. We're right back to those flashy plays, those aggressive maneuvers here from Badass. We'll see if they keep that up here. There's not too much pressure on them just now, heading into this first round of overtime. We got the double op, though. Binley is rocking the secondary. Alrighty. Not something you get to see every day, but I mean, I guess just anything you can utilize to help out, especially on that A side, it can actually be super useful. So it's hard to miss when there's such a tight choke point.
Yeah, I mean, I always call it just the momentum cannon, because sometimes D side's a bit lazy with the take, and you just walk into the secondary op and without preparing. You know, you're playing around the 1 AWP. Ben Leeds just looking to press mouse 1. Spec playing a dangerous game. We'll be able to slink away, though. As okay.
This feels
What's
like
going on
play
here?
They're pushing the extremities of A and B right now, so they're looking to get a little bit of a crunch on in. And again, with all of the information in the world as to where these plays are. If you're push deep B, you're push deep A, you know it's got to be mid here, so steady aim for Binley towards this donut position.
Jump across, fires the shot though, lets him know that that op is present, but Shane, he's gonna win the fight! Ah, you gotta be kidding me! Binley goes down next as well, and nothing can go wrong for Badass, except for Pone alone. He just found 2, he snipes Shane out of the sky. It's a 3 versus 3, he's keeping his team in this one. Anything more for Pone. The around the world flank is going to meet here on towards the site. And Chop will deliver on 1. And Pone alone with the 3rd kill of the round. It's just the savior here. Can Consti stop the defuse? The answer is probably no, as Pone alone flying 5-7. That's more like it. A 4K sight hold for Pone alone. 14 all. And yes, folks, we're going all 30.
Here we are. You finally made it. You knew in advance. That's why you said it.
Of course.
And we are going to see that 30th round at the very least. What I love so much is we just called upon him, Pone alone. We said in those late rounds, those post-plant situations, he's been very clunky in trying to lock in kills that we just know him so well to guarantee. Well, here it's not a post-plant, but it's a CT side retake where he has to find some very nice shots and will now level the playing field here. Gets them on to 14. Make sure that Badass doesn't claim themselves at 15, because the way that round was looking with Shane and Dare both finding opening picks in a 5v3, pulling that one back was of the utmost importance there, and Pone was able to deliver.
I mean, it was looking like at the start of that round, nothing could go wrong. Spec playing just a massive offing. Ooh, but what a combo! Wall bangs plus the Motley almost just takes him down 100-0. That would have been catastrophic.
A little tag slow him down from running away. Makes it very, very deadly. So a huge HP advantage early. Opponent alone has deep vision down on this B side. Badass going for a bit of a slower approach, but you know, the approach is going to end towards that A side. Chop's going to go for an info play right now, getting aggressive on the ramp just in time for Shane to peek into him, though.
Oh, and Pone alone can't hit the shot. Instead, he gets dinked up. Pone alone in at risk of getting naded down. He almost falls to it, and then Shane just simply clears the corner. The 10 HP Grizz falls. 3 versus 5. Surely. No chance here, right? Shane will burn, but post plan established.
Shane's been a bit quiet here, but stepping up big time late into the game. Cone gonna have a tough time making it in. He's just looking to cover that back of default position, hoping for a jiggle. They're watching the smoke first. They're way too diligent to give this one up. And Pone will be taken care of by the Op of Consti, his counterpart. Going to sideline him. And Badass going to give themselves a chance to close things out. Another opportunity to finish the job here in the third map.
Yep. Series point. To pull off quite the upset. I mean, Party Astronauts, a top 50 team in the world. A top team here in North America. And honestly, like, rated pretty highly amongst other teams. But perhaps there are some usurpers here in the new game as Consti charges forward with the off. Dare, he's gonna keep going. Not gonna clear this corner though. Chop. We'll pick that one up and there's no trade. Not yet. I think the answer is there won't be. 4 on 4.
We got that secondary back in the hands of Binley. Primary and Pone is going to cut him off. They peek before the smoke blooms. A little bit of a blunder there. Binley going to compound it. Frankie falls. Now it's just going to be Consti and Shane to stand up against the resistance here. But no luck. We're going again here. As Party Astronauts just will not give in.
We're going double. We're going deep into the night. We're moving the goalpost now to 19. As Badass had a chance. But the double op disassembly crew from Party Astronauts putting in work. So we start once again at square one. In some rounds that, honestly, Badass felt like they were in the driver's seat. They've been getting the openers. They've been having all the advantages. They haven't been closing. Can they do this here again as 2 players run through the smoke, but somehow they get 2 kills? Make it 3! Party Astronauts all of a sudden have this divinity about them.
Once that pressure's released here, kick it into overdrive Consti. Gonna walk through the smoke. That should be the end of him. No, he's just gonna walk around that smoke. Again, Grizz playing so effectively spec the same. Had a bit of a tough regulation, but in overtime it's been delivering here.
He was single digits in regulation. It was pretty brutal. How he found his way. I mean, I just don't know how the 2 players running through a smoke with their back turned to the player in Cubby don't both go down immediately and instead get 4 kills combined in middle. It's getting scrappy, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, I mean, this deep into a series here, we had a lot of those, both maps so far go very close. That's a well-tossed AG right there, right on the money. Put Spec on notice. Look at the spam damage. They line up for Grizz. He does damage to 1, finds the kill, and to have a taste of his own medicine. They're done even worse here now. HP even lower. Problem's going to continue here. They've got themselves a man deficit, and they don't have any space to work with as well. Just now establishing a little bit of a foothold on towards middle.
Oh, and they will clear the corner. Shane is going to equalize it. Pone alone. I mean, needs to have a Pone moment. Could do it, but the flashbang is excellent. He's going to take out the 5-7 and try and do the trick. And it might work out. First kill's good. Oh, hi there. There's another. Pone alone. Switches to the op and gets a 3rd. It's complete lockdown here from Josh. And it's 50-17. 2 rounds to PA.
Okay, that is exactly what we were hoping for. We're getting into the late stages. Multiple overtimes at this point. 3rd map. Pone is not giving in. Stepping up, rising to the occasion, looking to pull Party Astronauts across the finish line.
Oh my goodness.
What an incredible sequence there. Whipping out the 5-7 has saved them in multiple positions where I feel like Badass could have closed this series. But Pone alone will not let them.
As soon as we were saying he's having the jitters, he's unable to close these rounds out.
It's a Pone we know, it's a Pone we'd love to see as well. A chance to sweep. Look at the damage.
That's my 30-year-old talent.
He's in the right spot for success as they turn that corner. Shane just begging for a re-aggression here. For an opening pick to go their way. It's just not going to be the case right now. No need. 50 seconds left. Still a lot of time to cook this round. The re-aggression will come in the form of the ramp side.
Oh, Snap delivers on that front, and the wheels come off again. Pone alone's in charge. Can you make 2 of these happen? Do they want to test him? Like, there's so much hesitation here for Badass. Now it might not just be Pone alone who could win the round. There's this timer at the top that could serve as a 6th man. Here's Ben Leet. His turn to ring out. There's one, but he's struggling to connect the dots. There's another. Ben Leet just gets himself 3 inside of Donut. What's happening? It's a bounce house inside of Donut, as it's going to be Party Astronauts with a flawless CT side. It's Ben Leet who picks up the sticks and puts it to work. Flawless. 18 of 15.
What did he just do? What did he just do? Inside of Donut gets away with 3. Just robs that round away. Again, another 2v5. You would have thought it was Pone alone taking that away from them, but no, it's Binley with the Opland and no scopes finding those duels. And dropping, breaking the spirit of Badass. They've now given themselves 3 chances to finish the job here in this second overtime. And in the fashion in which they did so, I feel like it's got to just break the hearts here of Badass. It has to be demoralizing the way that they've lost to these couple rounds, and just like you said, the momentum cannon just can't escape the AWP no matter where you go.
There it is, Pone alone. Pick it up where we left off. Already starting this one with a tag on a Consi. He goes down to 3 as a result of the nade. And Snap now eating more wall bangs. Yeah, taste your own medicine. He got 8 of those in regulation. Now he's feeling the brunt of it. But there's a frag back. Dare pushes down the ramp. Are they going to keep going? Turning their back to Dare. Shane as well follows up. That's 3 consecutive kills from 1 push. Now Frankie, off angle though, doesn't work out. That's an open A site. This round, there is no certainties in it. It's a 2v3.
It's a 2v3. HP low for Consti. Shane, similar situation here. So there are some serious concerns right now. They're boosting up. They got to get ready for this aggression.
The nade is perfect though. It'll start by taking down Consti, and they have no idea where Ben Lead is. For all they know, he could be anywhere. Reveal his position. Well, now he does, and he takes Dare with him. Nade to the smoke. Shane takes damage. It's a game of cat and mouse, and Shane's gonna win it. Holding on for Badass Gaming. We got a couple more rounds in us.
We play on right now. Shane saving his team the worries right there in the late round. Absolutely heroic. Needed to close that round out. That HE, a sacrifice of a life for a kill right there in swinging forward. And it's going to be, again, opportunities now. 2 more chances to close this thing out. Badass. It was demoralizing. They had their spirits broken multiple times in that first half of the second OT. But they recover. They start to get up. In the second tier, they got a double up of their own as well.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it. Frankie's picked up the secondary in the past, but how do you think it's Dare? can't fault his rifling. So, great control to be established here for Party Astronauts. Much slower round, much less chaotic. Honolo, though, taking a peek up top. It's perfect. Opening kill to Party Astronauts. Look at this. This is a desperation play from Snap.
Oh,
36
yeah.
kills, and he's facing down 3 players. There is no surviving this. He gets one. He gets a second. He was facing down the whole team, and he defies the odds. Can Shane do the same? He does. He flicks as the smoke blooms. Chop falls. Man advantage. Badass.
That's unbelievable here, but Attack answered back. Able to find it here, Pwn in another late round situation. We said you need to step up. You need to rise to the occasion here in these post splits. And finally, starting to lock in these late kills here. That's the sort of stuff Pwn can close out this game with.
Grizz gets away as well. Players get to position themselves in towards ramp. The headshot angle so difficult to deal with. They get access to the site. Pwn alone, though, misses a shot. Defuse going down, though. Defuse going down, and it's going to end the game. Grizz through the smoke, 19-16. An absolute banger of an ESL Challenger League night.
What a game right there. What a way to close things out. Party Astronauts were faced up against multiple opportunities right there from Badass to close things, but they did not give up. They were able to stand tall in the overtimes. They stood tall in overpass as well when things were getting really pressured, when things were looking like Badass were going to sweep this series 2-0, but they didn't allow for that. And back-to-back maps closed out to close out this series. This is exactly what they needed.
This is, I mean, Badass finally kickstarting their season just a little bit, but Party Astronauts, they found the momentum finally. I think they found a way to actually, you know, get their season on the road. They've had some tough losses. They've had some shaky results, but like in this kind of fashion where, you know, you have, this is a type of win that like inspires you. You don't like say, whew, we dodged death. This is like, these players just feeling confident. You see Pwn alone running through smokes, making so many different plays. Honestly, I think this might just strengthen the bonds rather than feel like a Pyrrhic victory.
I 100% agree, right? You had to overcome a lot of adversity in this series. And again, this is a team that you would want to come into and say, hey, yeah, we can dispatch them. You know, this is, like we have said in the incoming of the series, a gatekeeping team. But what they just established today is that they're much more than that here. I feel like Badass over time, they're back with what I feel like is a much stronger approach to this roster. Some familiar faces joined back with a familiar formulation. And it led to a lot of success. They looked very good in this series, just couldn't quite close it. A couple missing pieces here and there that can be patched up, and I feel like Badass, I mean, again, same for them. Sure, tough loss, you're probably frustrated, but you got a lot of season left, and this is your starting to recover after this game.
Yeah, we go late into the night, and Party Astronauts are going to go up 4-3 on their season and try and start a comeback late into it. But with that being said, that's going to do it for us here tonight on ESL Challenger League. But we're running it tomorrow as well, so do be around for that. But on behalf of myself, Cole Extra McHenry, the production admin squad, thanks for watching another night of ECL. We'll be on tomorrow at the same time, all that good stuff. We'll see you then.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.